favor, Nod.
Okay. Yeah, they were alive. We defeated Tokyo Ghoul Re.
It defeated 2 out of 3 people.
Finally. God
That's
damn.
not. I didn't hate this ending or anything, but I definitely didn't like parts of it. That's for sure. Yes.
I'm gonna ask right now, Jaws, will it hurt your feelings if I hurt your feelings?
I don't have feelings, so go ahead.
Okay, good to hear.
You're just like
This was still better-ish than most of the manga, but I'm just glad it's over.
I'm gonna say look, okay, this is weird tangent to go on, but in Chris Ott's article about nostalgia and the Goldfish Bowl, when you look at something farther back, there's a lot of distortion, so it's like looking through the water in a goldfish bowl. I think you've forgotten how good early Re is before the before the stagnation part you're thinking of. I think everything from the cues and everything with Mutsuki and Hayase and Kaneki up to the big building fight with Tsukiyama, I think all that is some of the best stuff in Tokyo Ghoul or Re. I think that stuff was all great. It was like 8 out of 10, peaks of 9s. The auction house with the guy killing his adoptive mother-father thing, Urie being a tryhard, that was all really cool stuff. And then it wasn't so good when there was a lot of characters around, and then it was better, and then it was stupider, and then there was clowns, and now we're here. So I still think a majority of Re is pretty dang great. But yeah, this ending has a lot of the things that we were complaining about in it, but it also has some good stuff again. So I was like, yay.
Honestly, I think sorry, Jaws, but I think the stretch right before this one was the best we've had since, I don't know, maybe the 30% mark.
That's true.
Somewhere around there.
I agree with that.
And this is not as bad as Central Re. It is still not great. It still was a dip down at the end.
I think everything with Furuta and Kaneki I really like. Well, maybe not really like, but I definitely like. And I like the ending with all the with all the peeps. I could not give a flying fuck about this fucking stupid ass new species egg thing, fucking new owl clown bullshit. Fuck you for making me read that, Ishida, not Jaws. The Ishida made me read it. I was like, God damn it, this is all the annoying stuff. Stop doing this. Stop having all the characters run around and have nonsensical, squiggly fucking fights and a bunch of like the V's. Oh, the V's are here. Fuck you. Hate the fucking V's. Whenever they show up, everything goes to shit. Makes no sense. It's fucking stupid. The only good thing about it was Amon killing his dad, but that was only like 50% good.
That's like really good.
Yeah, even then, I was like,
that was the running
like
theme
strewn
for this
across.
Stretch. It was.
Yeah.
I brought up the freezer before. This was the TV dinner of endings, where he just grabbed all the elements he abandoned 200 chapters ago that people cared about, and then hastily threw them together so that we had
some
an
of
ending.
some of them, it's like beer he forgot in the freezer and it exploded into a foamy mess, and it's like, fuck, I shouldn't have left that in there so long.
Man,
yeah.
Dude, just gave me a flashback to a time I left a 6-pack of sparkling water out on the balcony when I was living in that hotel, and there was one left.
And I discovered a new species.
I discovered a new species.
Yeah, fuck.
Man,
okay, well let's reverse engineer this.
I wish I had some sparkling water right now instead of Tokyo Ghoul.
Once
I wish I could read the bubbles in sparkling water instead of Tokyo Ghoul.
Okay, his issue is like it. I really think it is the formulaic thing, like just like it's like he really enjoys like this kind of like lockstep pattern of like how the story progresses, where it's like big orgasmic climax where the artwork gets really good for that last stretch, and you get a lot of big cathartic scenes and big fight scenes, and everyone has their internal things. It's really cool, and then it's like he hits the reset button, and we're back to like the artwork takes a dip, the story becomes everyone talking about like what's the situation now and what's the new silly threat that's arisen, and then everyone is like being goofy for like the next few chapters, and you're like, just get to the big finale again, come on, I don't care about these silly egg people, the fucking everyone in the CCG, everyone shows up, and I'm like, I don't know who all the characters are again. The art style keeps
really
changing
just pulled
again.
A conflict out of nowhere.
Yeah, he's just like, well,
decided
he's
I
like,
need a conclusion.
The ghouls in the
giant
CCG,
monster.
the ghouls in the CCG have made up now. Where's the conflict? Kaneki's fine. I thought the last place we ended with him waking up, I thought it was going to be something weird, like he was like messed up in the head now, and he like starts attacking his family, tries to rip Toka's head off, but he's just like, okay.
Yeah, maybe all those organs that he mysteriously grew, maybe he just has 5 penises now. Maybe that's why Toka's so happy.
So. Yeah, you can fuck Tsukiyama at the same time. But
if you think she's pregnant now, just wait.
Something I liked early on, though, was we get to see him reunite with is it Hige? Hide? Well, we haven't seen him in like 200 chapters. I'm excused here. Yeah.
He was Hide-in somewhere where we couldn't find him.
He sure was. That was nice. I mean, I've been waiting for the like face reveal panel for ages, because I keep seeing it in all the fucking thumbnails whenever we do this. So I already knew he looked like that, but still it was nice to see. While I was looking for that, or when I was looking for that or something, that's the same thing. I found like a screenshot from the anime. God, it looked awful in the anime. I know the anime looks like shit generally, but that specific one looked so embarrassing. I was like, who released this? It looked like a fucking clip art with like a doodle of someone's mouth over it. It looked awful. The anime one looks iconic. This one not so much. Yeah. But that's just an aside.
Yeah.
But that was a nice conversation for them to hang out again after so long.
It was just, I don't know what the author's problem was. I really don't.
If you would let me speak, I can tell you.
No.
This is the reveal John has been waiting to jump on us for the whole time.
This almost isn't a manga. This almost isn't a story. It's the beginning of a new thrust, the beginning of a new sequence of events and characters and things we care about. It starts as a new story, a part 2. Then it really feels like he just was doing and then storytelling, where he would just draw a fight scene, not even necessarily know why the fight was going to happen. And then he would just fill it with characters describing why they're going to fight with a bunch of technobabble. And he just did that over and over again for 4 years. And then at the end, he's like, oh, fuck, right. I'm a manga and people love me and care about these characters for some reason. I am a manga.
I am manga man. 400 chapters drawn, 50 characters at the same time, 50 billion readers disappointed.
50 billion dead plot lines. He just tacked on meaningless events to other meaningless events and stretched it out over and over and over. And then at the end, he just tries to have a schmaltzy ending. I don't know why. The thing about it, though, the end, why wasn't he working towards any of these things that he showed? Where if the ending is going to be, there's this greater conflict, and now the humans and ghouls can, work together
done things
and live.
Differently.
Why did we see so little? I need to say it first.
Just before you say it, Jaws, I'm
asking you a question.
I'm going to say before anyone says something. What it is just like reading this is a very strange experience, because I've never experienced like. I can so easily tell and know that this is a really talented, and I admire him as a mangaka so much, and yet I am seeing him like fumble things. Like I don't often see that. Like whenever I see a good mangaka, they're doing it really well, or if it's being done badly, it's a shitty guy like Hiro Mashima or something. But here I'm like witnessing someone like just be like it's just like he can't pull it off. It's like he keeps coming in fifth in all my Uma Musume races. I'm like, God, I know you're a top contender fucking racer. I know you're how good you are, but you keep tripping up and like you're just fucking up, and it's like, come on, man, get in it, get with it.
Well, Michi, he's not a bad artist. He's a bad person. That's the problem.
No, he's not a bad artist or a bad writer or a bad character comer up with. He's not bad at any of the parts of making manga. It's just like stuff happens. Maybe he just has like nerve and stress issues and I can relate to that.
Maybe the Yakuza had his girlfriend in a basement.
That's probably what happened.
You have to write manga.
Jaws, tell me why this wasn't a 10 out of 10. What happened?
Yeah, Jaws, air the grievances, Jaws. We'll just sit quietly while Professor Jaws tells us.
Scientist man explains it all.
Exactly. I mean, I already told you about the burnout thing, so I don't have to mention that again, except I just did. And so, what happened as we went towards the end of Tokyo Ghoul was in interviews, Ishida said that he initially wanted another tragic ending for the story and intended to end it earlier than where we ended up. And the problem was he had already communicated to his publisher, editor, I forgot which one, maybe both, that he was going to end the story. And then he felt that wasn't right anymore. Like he wanted to write a happy ending instead of like a sort of. He almost said he wanted a train wreck of an ending, not in terms of being shit, but in terms of being like dramatic and
like. I was about to say mission accomplished, but never mind.
That was Furuta's mission too. That's why he's the self-insert. Yeah.
So what he did was for 6 months. He basically asked his editors to get additional chapters, and he had to. I don't know what like his problem was, like if it was miscommunication to an insane degree, because the way the interview makes it sound is like he had to repeatedly ask for each single new chapter. Like why? I don't know why he couldn't just say, "Okay, I need half a more year to finish the story," instead of saying, "I need one more chapter for 6 years, for 6 months, basically."
What the
hell?
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. And at the very end, like before when we got the final chapter of this manga, he was not getting any more extensions, and he basically said, "Okay, if he had like 3 more chapters, he felt like he could have written like a better epilogue style thingy, because if you look at the epilogue, it's like very rushed and there's some stuff not addressed in it and stuff like that." But so I think a main reason why the last stretch is so weird is because he has to make up things on the fly. Like he has no time.
That's exactly what it comes off as. That's exactly.
So I mean, we have like a very unique situation where the manga is both stretched and rushed at the same time.
He's like good. That's the thing, because he's like good enough that if he planned it, if when he's given time, it's going to be really good. So him just rushing it is like the level of acceptability to be published for like a mid manga. So that explains like that's his output. This is his like rushed on the fly output of like a really talented person. This is what happens. It comes out like this. Yeah.
I mean, rushed would be not the correct word for that stretch. More like
just like
it was his idea to stretch it. Like
sure, but just like it's not his true potential is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So to be clear, I am allowed to be harsh on
From the
the
beginning,
manga
I'm
to
gonna
some
say
degree,
Jaws,
right? Because
Jaws,
even he's admitting it has problems.
Jaws
okay,
always,
so I'm not the bad guy.
Jaws
Yeah,
always
that's
said from
problems.
the start that
Okay.
there were problems.
Yeah,
like
like,
when
I
we were
remember-
starting
I
out,
remember
yeah.
when you were talking about the early parts, and you said, "Oh, this is like way more consistent than the original manga." And I'm just, are you sure about this?
Way
Because I knew
before
what was
that,
coming.
years ago, I remember being like just mentioning Ri because we were talking about you liking Tokyo Ghoul, and you'd be like, Ri it has problems. I have mixed feelings about it. So I knew
Yeah.
Jaws wasn't like diehard for Ri. So I was like, okay. I said okay
I will
as
ask-
as the guy said it.
If we work backwards 6 months, where would that put the end of the stuff that makes sense?
It would be around Furuta, basically like Kaneki losing to Suzuya and Hanbei, and Furuta basically saying game over. It would be around
Okay.
there. Like that's where it seems the
A
cutoff
bit
point would be.
farther than when
maybe,
Green was thinking.
Maybe the emergence of Dragon itself and then the end. Like
Okay.
that, maybe everything going to shit at
Yeah.
that point, and like around there.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, Ishida said the final 6 months were the 6 months he had fun writing the story.
Because he was just like, fuck it.
Oh, I'm
because
glad someone enjoyed
because
it.
was just- yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, he has famously said that he really did not enjoy working on Tokyo Ghoul.
The whole thing or just Ri?
I think everything from when he got Burnout, which was halfway through the first original manga.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, imagine to write like 4 years or more on a story you don't want to write anymore.
I totally get that, Jaws, but like loads of mangaka, they do that just fine.
Yeah.
Like it's not I'm not gonna cut him too much of a break because I mean he did choose this industry. Like you don't accidentally become a Shonen Jump mangaka. Like it's something that has a lot of requirements to it, and it's a job, so it's like he's getting paid for it. It's not like someone was strapped him to a fucking chair and put a gun to his head and was like, draw Tokyo Ghoul Ri.
And that's also like mentioned before, where he said if he stopped or took a break, he felt like he would never pick up.
Yeah, I
pen.
get that. I'm definitely, now that I finished this, I am raring to read Shojin X. I've got my volumes on my shelf. I'm gonna be doing that on the toilet. Yeah.
Yeah, among other things. I can't give him too much credit, or I guess
Leeway.
too much leniency,
Yeah.
because the problems with this manga go back farther than that period of time that you just described.
Yeah, but I think
So
that's like a
I can
little bit
only
of
be
a
so nice.
personal
He could have
thing,
turned it
because
around better.
Because much of the stuff that you like hated, most people still quite liked.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like on my anime list, this has like a rating of like 8.35, like Ri on its own. Like that's
Like
pretty.
most people felt it went to
Yeah.
shit with actually the arc you like the most. Like
To be fair, Tokyo Ghoul is so huge. Like it really was like a phenomenon when I was like in high school and stuff. I totally understand like 80% of the fans being fucking stupid. Like that's just the case with like
most
big
of the
popular
fans are
stuff.
just like anime fans.
Yeah,
like the
if they
anime is
love-
way more known than the
Really?
manga.
That's so depressing.
Yeah.
Holy shit. That's so fucking embarrassing. People really have no
It's just a
fucking
Glassy
idea
Sky
of
song, man.
quality
People like
control.
that song.
People are so fucking stupid. I don't want to live on this planet anymore. This like that's what like gave me the ick about Tokyo Ghoul when I was like in high school. Like I never engaged with this fucking property because all I saw was the anime stuff, and the anime stuff looked fucking retarded. Everyone always had fucking pins of stupid Kaneki with his mask on, looks fucking dumb. And I'd see clips and I'd be like, this is fucking retarded. And I was right to think so, honestly.
I look
Yeah.
at my phone background.
I didn't know the manga was good, but yeah. Oh well. Anyways, actual manga. I didn't enjoy anything of like the I don't know anyone's name. The uncle electric uncle versus Mask Man.
Electric Boogaloo.
Electric Boogaloo versus Insane Clown Posse over here. That was really just
inane.
stupid. Inane Clown Posse, yes. I mean, I don't dislike these characters or anything. I just didn't vibe with whatever the fuck was going on here. I honestly, the clowns showing up again, I was like, shut the fuck up. There is no clowns. There is no anything. Furuta just like fucked off. The clown leader is dead. Like, this is just like, he just wanted like, they need to be here too. That's like the whole problem with so many arcs. Is like everyone has to be here. It's like not everyone is invited to every party, Ishida. It happens. Hisoka wasn't in Chimera Ants, okay? Yeah. You can do that. Kurapika wasn't around. Leorio wasn't around. You don't need to stuff all your little fucking OCs and everything you do.
I felt just a little guilty going through the epilogue and not recognizing at least
Dude,
two-thirds of the people.
I couldn't do it, and I pay more attention than you. It's like,
yeah, I mean,
they
the
look
epilogue
different.
reads almost like a troll thing.
Yeah,
like if you know,
he could have been making up so many of the names. I'm like, who?
Yeah, he does it for people who absolutely do not matter, while leaving out people who do matter. Like it's intention.
I was like, where are some characters? And other ones, I was like, the background guy who is the assistant baker. I'm like, what? Who the fuck?
Yeah, it's probably because he was rushed on this, so he probably thought, yeah, fuck it.
It was like the end of a sitcom, honestly. Everywhere you go, VHS footage to fucking Kaneki cutting someone's head off.
Who the fuck when...
You know, in 20 years, Netflix is going to make Tokyo Ghoul a sequel about their family.
When Takizawa was on the roof, who was that with him? Who is that chick? Is that Kuro? But she looks different.
No, it's not. She only shows up very briefly.
That was my issue. Like, Green earlier was like, he didn't recognize Ui, and I'm like, I definitely know who Ui is, but how the fuck do I explain to someone who he is? It's like, oh, he was there. He was like, do you remember when Furuta was like being a bad guy and the guy like followed him? No, not really. Okay, do you remember when there was like the chick who died and there was a chainsaw guy and there was like this fight and remember when the guy was being like mean to Heisa? It's like all of these, I don't know how to tell you. It's like way back in part 1 where they were fighting Owl. There was like a guy who also joined the fight and didn't seem important back then. That's him. That's the guy. That's who it is. It's like
I was dangerously close to giving other people credit earlier because I was reading this and I was like, I can't wait. Who the fuck is this guy again? And Michi's like, yeah, that's the main villain, Green. Like, oh,
no,
really?
no, that isn't the main villain. That's not him. Fruits is the main villain. It's just they both have long black hair.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I don't know how to tell you who is who. Like, characters, not only do they show up when they don't matter anymore, characters look different from part to part sometimes. It's just...
Michi, you know that thing that they do when they're training artists? Where they'll sometimes have you copy an incredible amount of detail because they're trying to break the thing in your brain that makes you see objects and symbols.
Oh yeah, totally.
So you just overwhelm that part of your mind until you're just drawing the shades directly.
Yeah.
That's Tokyo Ghoul. It so overloaded my ability to perceive character and story that I just started seeing splotches of color on the page, and I couldn't even perceive them as individuals after a while. It's just a stream of consciousness.
It's a trip, I gotta say. Maybe one day I'll release like the Michi Tokyo Ghoul tapes, because it's like for each stretch I've had different albums as the soundtrack, and they fit really well most of the times. That might just be my like bias, but what I had for like the final stretch that got like emotional with like Kaneki and Furuta stuff was like Kraus, the shoegaze guy, which went really well. But before that, for this entire stretch with the clowns, I just had like breakbeat fucking like lollycore insane like overwhelm all your senses music, because that's what the fucking manga felt like. It was like like all the whole time. I was like that's what the fucking manga sounds like. That's the soundtrack to this. It's like piercing a drill into my brain. And I was like getting a headache, but I was like, more I need more. Like the artwork was also going like on the fritz, because it felt like it was drawn like as it was coming out, and I was like, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but I was just like, just the haptic energy of it was like I felt like I was like the end of 2001, like the fucking space into the void thing.
No spoilers.
Oh, come on. You had 70 years. Fuck you. Yeah, this fight was silly and dumb, and the whole thing. I didn't really resonate with the ending thing. It's like a coin flip if I'll vibe with whatever message he tries to come up with at the end. But like the whole like, oh, the life has meaning as long as I fight you, and I'll keep coming for you because I'm a scamp, aren't I? And no one ever really dies. I was like, this is fucking stupid.
No one ever really dies.
Yeah, I'll get into that in a second. I've got a fucking I'm gonna put a fucking flea in his ear about that. I guess we could get into it right now. Sure. We are doing 2 other mangas where characters constantly fucking die. What is his problem? What? Why won't?
I don't know. Like,
why
does not
won't
kill
he do it?
characters.
It's like I'm trying to take the toys away to put in the toy box, but he's just like, no, I need my I need who shows up? The author shows up. Eto shows up.
Yep.
Oh, the demon ape. Because I've been wondering
Yep.
if he was holding down the fort this whole time. But it shows up and it seems like he's dead, but then he's not dead. He's just like a guy.
Yeah, they're like zombified.
Yeah, they're
like
like,
all 3 of them are like zombified versions.
Yeah,
but
fuck
they're
that.
back.
And then the worst of all, Naki just fucking
Yes.
jumping down mid-fight scene, and I vocally said, fuck you. I said, fuck you for doing that. I like Naki, and you're making me like him less. Because
And he wrote such a good ending scene for him. Like,
I know. What the fuck is wrong with him? Just I want to go over there and like slap him across the face. Just stop. You're doing it again. You have to let them go. The manga's ending anyway. Why do you care? All the characters could
That's
die.
me being tough with someone, by the way. It's him rubbing their face, going, stop.
I said slap, not rub.
Okay. I was embellishing.
Yeah. Okay. Dude, just like if the manga's ending anyway, just kill everyone. It's like, what are you worried you won't be able to use Naki later in the 3rd sequel series? It's like, it's so stupid. He just shows up and it's like, what?
I feel like he didn't use Naki once.
He doesn't make a difference. He did use him sometimes. He had cool, funny lines. He had a heroic moment. He had a last stand. But then it's like, where was he? How is he? What is he? Not only him,
Why
his
is he?
his
Who
bros
is
are
this
here
he?
too. There's more of them. That's like, and it's also like, how does this change the situation? Oh, Naki's here. Now the V's are really quaking in their boots. Naki's like about the 57th strongest person in the manga. It's like, if Suzuya and Ui are having troubles, what the fuck is Naki gonna do? Like, he's like a metal pointy Kagune. He's like a leader type who shouts. Like, him dying in a fight makes total sense. But no, he's here. I'm surprised Shirazu didn't show up, frankly, which is the only thing I had predicted.
The only person I would have liked.
Well,
Dean
yeah,
to be
exactly.
honest.
It's like, well, because when he died, that's when they established, like, oh, the ghouls have made off with Dr. Kano has made off with the remains of all the dead people from the battle, and we had some people come back, so it was like, then it was...
like the whole Shirazu stuff was just to get Kano the Ogai technology.
Yeah, and we had
He just magically cure AIDS as a byproduct of this battle.
And didn't fucking didn't Psycho do like a weird missile attack last fight? So I was like, oh, that's kind of like Shirazu's. I was like, yeah, she did a thing and she was like missiles or something. So I was like, oh, maybe that's like a hint that Shirazu's coming back or he lives inside her. I don't know. But then no. But then no, it didn't matter. Stop bringing people back. I hate it. It's bad. Okay, what did I like? What did I like? I'll tell you what I liked. When they go inside of the Oviduct land, first of all, the artwork got better. It looked like Blame. So much of the stretch looked like Blame to me. That was like one of my main pickups. I was like, this looks like Blame. And then it was just a straightforward thing. They're going into this. It was like gross and trippy, which I appreciate. And you know what? It might be stupid, but I like a big fuck off stupid superpower fight between Furuta and Kaneki because I'm like, well, you know, he's the first this whole thing is like nothing matters anyway. It's all stupid, so fuck it. And then, you know, it looked nice, and I like I appreciate just like them going Super Saiyan, their powers looking cool, and they have a big slugfest. Like, I'm fine with that. They had a goofy little sword fight interim there.
Yeah, with a little Berserk reference.
Yeah, I got a little Berserk thing when he bites the sword. I'm like, sure, why not? Better than the other stuff. I don't care what the fuck is going on outside with the 1,000-man fight against 1,000 black suits and a stupid fucking... I hate it when he does those giant monsters. Like, Owl was the only good... I know this is Owl again. Great. He did it again.
But the worst version of it.
Yeah, a worse version that makes no sense and has no like story or character.
It just completely
value.
breaks the logic of the world. It makes everything irrelevant.
There is nothing with RC cells. Like, what? It's like I've stopped even thinking about it. It's like a ring light that does an explosion like it's fucking end of Evo. What are the cells in your body doing that? Ever since that guy set himself on fire way back, RC cells have been worse than midichlorians. It's like they can just do whatever the fuck you want. It's like, yeah, as soon as if you see this word RC cells in a bubble, don't read it. If you value your life, just don't read the entire bubble. Yeah. Okay, then Rize showing up. I did like that Rize is like giving birth to a bunch of stuff, and there was like birth metaphors and oviducts, because way back Furza said he was going to make 1 billion babies with her, and he did, God bless him. They're not his, but yeah. I thought that stuff was nice enough, and I wish the last stretch had just been that. There was like it wasn't like a wordless chapter, but that chapter of him just like, that chapter of like Kaneki fighting his way through the like monstrous things and getting bit, and there was like the flower metaphor again. That was a really good chapter. That was like the wordless chapter earlier where Toka was going to rescue him. So I was like, that was nice. And then we got the last chapter where everyone's fine, I guess.
I do like the conclusion to the Furuta fight, like just tiny little bits of extra information about Furuta, or just like his outlook, and just technically just wanting a normal life and not. I really don't hate Furuta. Like he's like a meme, and he can be like annoying and stupid, and it is like I get the idea like Ishida wants you to hate him when he's like running around like being cowardly and being knots and being goofy, but it's like I really don't. Like, I don't mind him as like an archetype. I think he's fine for a villain. I think he's interesting. I think he's funny. But yeah, the issue is always the same. It's always like their interesting stuff is spread out like butter across too much toast, and so the rest of it the rest of it is like stuff I don't care about. I think the stuff that I liked the most this read through from this section was the Amon versus Donato conclusion.
It was interesting. I don't think I enjoyed the fight itself.
Yeah, the fight not so much, more like the conclusion.
Yeah, Green. What do you think? Sorry,
I have feelings about that, because I have a list of things like that. I mean, the speech that Mask Clown Guy gives is in that category. Toka's uncle showing up is also in that category. The finger crack thing is in that category. Little callbacks and continuations and conclusions of things that were interesting earlier. In a way, I like that they're there. I like Amon's moment with the priest guy was a good moment. It bugs me that it was just a moment, though.
Yeah, it's always
because I look back on the 150 chapters before this and think there was so much room where if the big emotional climax was going to be Amon's character development, there was so much space to dig so much more into how Amon felt about this guy and maybe have him have more interactions with him, stuff like that. Instead of the ridiculous gang warfare plot, we could have even had a thing where Amon comes back earlier and, maybe he's continually having to go to his adopted father to get information, and we're having this back and forth, and we see him have hang-ups. Maybe he is facing becoming a father because he's going to fuck Mato or some shit. And then, he's insecure because, my father figure was a psycho cannibal who probably didn't actually care about me, things like that. I can relate. But...
It's funny because it's true.
It is. I had a little brain blast while reading that, actually. Like, hey, wait a second. The God damn. But there was so much room. He destroyed a Canadian forest, making scenes of uninteresting people sitting around fucking tables talking about nothing. And then at the end, he has an interesting little human moment that you don't see a lot of in manga. You know, is unique to his character. He could have had a lovely little arc weaved throughout the story, but instead they just had Amon wander around like fucking Forrest Gump, occasionally fighting before he disappears into the wilderness again.
Amon's like very mishandled
yes.
in terms of his character and how much he mattered in the Tokyo Ghoul.
I think he fumbled Donato a bit too, just because I don't think he should have made him this like overpowered, like high-ranking clown. I think he should have just made him like your run-of-the-mill ghoul who is important because of his intelligence and his backstory with Amon. Like, I don't think it should have been like the whole stuff with like him escaping and being like this, has this like superpower where he can like control and make other bodies, and he's like super tough, and he's like this fucking SSS tier ghoul. It's like, it's all unnecessary. Like, it's more interesting for him to just be like a normal sadistic average ghoul. It fits in more with his backstory too, because like if you're the kind of guy who's this overpowered, you're more likely to like run an orphanage and have this like sneaky low stakes way of getting your food, you know. Like, it should have been something like he was stuck in Cochlea, like Green was saying, or something to do with like the Cochlea break-in. He gets out and he goes back to like, there's like, you see in the background maybe there's like news stories of like, oh, children have been vanishing in the area again or something, and Amon goes and tracks him down at his new hideout, instead of it being like, oh, he's like one of the generalissimos in the final combat. Like, I don't think I think that's like a clumsy way of weaving him in. I think him and Amon being an interesting story in and of themselves that doesn't have to tie in that much would be better than making him into this big fucking final battle with stupid powers that make no sense and crosses everywhere.
I mean, that's literally all of the manga, though. It's him taking characters, giving them a little emotional gimmick, and then using them as, you know, action figures to smash into each other.
But I'm fine with some characters. It makes sense that they're really strong and powerful when their big scene comes, you know, like it goes well with their thing. Like, I'm fine with fucking, I don't know, like Toka and Mutsuki having a big action fight because that's what their deals are, you know. But it's like, I think a character like this, like, I don't think it would make Hannibal Lecter movies like Silence of the Lambs better if at the end there's a fist fight against fucking against Anthony Hopkins. It's like he's the tactician kind of character. You shouldn't be the fight a guy with a sword type of character. It's just silly. Amon should be overpowering him as a given, and his big conflict is whether or not to kill him because he's defenseless as a ghoul. That would be more interesting than having them have a big shonen fight. That
makes sense. Also, why are there fucking crosses on his
because
power?
He's a priest.
It's not that kind of world.
Because he's a priest. Get it? Like a guy.
No. I've said this before.
Oh wait, RC cells? Are they Roman Catholic cells?
Wait, sorry. Wait, what was the reason, Josh? Sorry.
We've talked about this before. It's the marionette thing. It's the marionette cross.
But they're also supposed to look like Christian crosses.
That doesn't make it better.
When they're
Why
sticking
does
out.
his DNA know?
His DNA wouldn't know exactly. It's like
symbols. It doesn't make sense.
I love marionettes so much it changed my genetic code. I don't.
More like the other way around, but yeah.
I'm surprised Toka doesn't have a coffee grinder on her
You say
wings.
the other way around like that makes any more sense. Guy uses his Kagune one time.
It doesn't make sense.
These plus signs, they kind of remind me of marionette things. I guess I like marionettes now. It's like, what?
No, more like I like marionettes, so I form my Kagune to look like marionette crosses.
I'm pointing in my head like a kooky person.
It's so weird that the early powers... They look like organic extensions of their bodies.
Now. It's like I could make a blade shield. It's like, well, I can explode, do a supersonic electricity blast. It's like, what?
I understand why Ishida did it, but I really don't. Like, he, of course, like as a mangaka, he realized that if he keeps doing the same basic grounded stuff again, people will get bored. I mean, I wouldn't.
I had that complaint early on too, where I was like, too many of the powers are kind of samey, and it just feels like people slapping their
tentacles
together. And I was like, and it makes it visually compelling. I get that, but it's like he should have either come up with a different like something happens that shifts powers, or a new class of people that have different powers. Like maybe the doves figure out like some new thing that gives them these weird quinkes that do these weird abilities or something. I don't know. They kind of do that a bit. He wanted to have more like interesting power type things, kind of like Hunter x Hunter fight. What he wanted to do really was write Shojin X, where that's obviously what the powers are
exactly.
like.
Powers are just whatever the fuck.
Exactly. It's just like, well, whatever. And then
I don't get it, because I understand that if you're trying to play to the cheap seats, you need action and girls with big tits and all kinds of things. Or he's 1 for 2. What I don't understand, the original Tokyo Ghoul and why it succeeded. Do people remember Tokyo Ghoul as an action manga? I mean, is that what people actually liked about originally? Because
I think your run-of-the-mill moron does.
Lightly paced early on.
I think dum-dums do. I think dum-dums think it's like fucking sick when they hit each other.
People like it because of the fights, and of course they get into arguments with the people who like it for the psychological stuff.
I wonder who's the strongest.
Yeah.
Rize is the strongest. Done. We're fucking done. Go home.
Is she?
Remember last time when I joked? No. Remember last time when I joked saying I can't wait for a 300-foot tall monster version of Rize to show up? And lo and fucking behold,
she might as well have. She should have risen out of the earth like Ray at the end of Eva, and just everyone turned into Kagune crosses, and this is fucking
one
I would like that so much more.
One possible sort of essay thing I wanted to write was the potential Lovecraft influences on Tokyo Ghoul, because Rize, like specifically with the goat stuff, I think is like partially inspired by Shub Niggurath in the Cthulhu stuff cycle. Like the black goat of the woods with 1,000 youngs.
That makes sense.
1,000 young.
That seems probable.
And there are like some other stuff that sort of overlaps, like Uta being influenced by Nyarlathotep and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah.
That could be interesting. I once wrote a worthless blog post about the Lovecraft influences in Soul Eater, so it's a great market to appeal to. I don't have much more to say.
Do I have anything to say?
Checks notes.
At one point in the version I was going, they showed a volume cover, and there were some pictures of some big titty Japanese girls in swimsuits on.
Yes, that was weird. I noticed that as well. Like
that was nice. Good job, manga website.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah, it was like the magazine. It's like weird. Like I think it couldn't have been from like Shonen Jump. Like it was different. Like,
it will be something else.
Tokyo Ghoul wasn't published in Shonen Jump. It was like something else. It wasn't Shonen Jump.
Really? Okay. I thought it was
Shonen. Yeah, it's as I said, it's not categorized as a shonen. It was published in like a seinen.
Yeah. Keep staying on that hill.
They somehow found a demographic younger than shonen. I don't know. I don't want to beat the same drum.
I think we're just
for the 50th time. I will just a few final points.
Yeah.
This has no middle. The whole problem with this thing is he never develops the elements. He has an initial emotional hook. Then he has dozens and dozens and dozens of chapters of just inane fight scenes that don't do anything except, have physical conflict. And at the end, he has someone make a saccharine speech, and you're supposed to go, oh yeah, we do have these beliefs and goals, and we care about things. Hell yeah, mangaka. Even though he hasn't talked about it in ever. He just doesn't know how to do progression well. Honestly, Tokyo Ghoul had some of these same problems where Tokyo Ghoul, it was a different pace because Tokyo Ghoul started rougher and then steadily got better. But there was a point around the 1/3 mark in Tokyo Ghoul where he was clearly just treading water. And it was kind of the opposite problem where he didn't really know where to take the story. So he just had boring things happen. He just had Kaneki stand around the coffee shop, sipping his coffee and going, oh my god, Toka sure is cute, and I sure am a ghoul. What should I do next? They would just have nothing happen, or characters just hit the same beats over and over. He ran into the problem of progression again, except this time he tried to solve in the opposite way. Instead of having characters just stay in place, he had them just move a lot without really going anywhere, and have constant fight scenes and constant drama and constant people saying they betray each other. But he didn't transform the characters emotionally enough, or have a back and forth with their goals enough to keep it moving. I think he just stalls out in the middle, and he doesn't know how to connect the beginning and the end of his story very well. And the final thought that I did have, which is my last attempt to maybe explain what bugs me so much about Tokyo Ghoul Re, I feel like the original Tokyo Ghoul, if you took away all of the words, and this is an angle Michi has to take seriously, because he's obligated to at least pretend to understand this. If you took the original Tokyo Ghoul and you took out all the words and you were just flipping, watching the images and the characters, I think you would at least get a feel for the story.
Yes.
You wouldn't understand everything, but you would see, oh, Kaneki likes this cute girl. Oh no, she's a Ghoularino. He's splatted. Oh my god, he has an organ. Look at the knife bend on his belly. Oh, these nice people are giving him little gumdrops. And now they're in an alley and something scary is happening. And it keeps going. You can get a feel for what the world is, just visually.
Yes.
If you tried to do that with Re, it would be a never-ending stream of characters. You might not even understand that the ghouls and the humans are different factions.
Yeah.
Because both of them
which
have
character is
supernatural
which
things
sometimes.
popping out of their body. It would just seem like some vaguely governmental group of people is constantly fighting with a vaguely non-governmental group of people in a series of decaying urban environments, and then at the end there's a big fucking monster.
Yeah,
like you wouldn't be able to get the gist, and you wouldn't get any character progression really. You would get a tiny bit with like Mitsuki's tits and Psycho crying, things like that.
Because some chapters that don't almost have words are some of the best ones. Like them having sex, you don't need any of the words to understand that chapter. The original Tokyo Ghoul, like you're saying, if you took all the words away, it did a really good job, because it was like, what I liked about it was that it was like the perfect it went from like white to black perfectly. It was like a perfect little escalation there. Like literally, if you looked at the artwork, he starts off with very like blaring whites and blacks and just looks kind of goofy, and then around when he gets tortured, he starts using like a lot of screen tones and everything that's a bit dour, and then it ends in a nighttime battle and lots of like darkness both in the story and the artwork. It was like a progressive, like it went into shadow and it ends on a dark ending, and that was a cool like journey to go on. That was like a cool degradation thing, where it was like, it's like he keeps saying, if I had a story, it would be a tragedy. If I was the main character, and it fucking was, and it was cool. Yeah, you're right. This is like smorgasbord. Yeah.
Expanding slightly on that idea, think about animation, and this is sometimes used with comics as well. But like the idea of keyframes, where you could just take a series of images that would capture the basic thrust of the story, the big emotional beats, and then everything in between them, is a transition from those really extreme emotional states to tell the story. I could pick, 30 images from Tokyo Ghoul and just lay them in front of you, and you would have the gist of the story probably. I mean, try think about what images from Tokyo Ghoul Re you would use to tell the story.
That's
if you had to only pick 20
it's
or 30 or 50.
Oh, sure. Or even just think of like iconic pages. Like I think
remember when Amin stared at someone with his head tilted and went,
Well, that was one of the good ones. That's a bad example to bring up. It's annoying, because like what it means is that my favorite stretch of Tokyo Ghoul is spread between two mangas. It's like it's like from chapter 50 of original to chapter, I guess, around 50 or a bit later. 60 to 60 of Re. That's like my favorite. That's like the best stuff in Tokyo Ghoul. So it's hard to be like, so you can't have like a complete, really good manga, because they both have like their sections that are weak for different reasons, and it's like, if you take them both as a whole, that doesn't help either, because it's bookended by calamity.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly kind of perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, I have at least the luxury that I don't mind the earlier sections of the original Tokyo Ghoul.
Yeah.
Just
Sure.
to
And you like
like
the good stuff in that more, so it elevates the earlier stuff as a side effect too. Like because so much of the earlier stuff also has, you know, it has special meaning later, and if you like the later stuff even more, it makes the earlier stuff better too. Yeah. That's totally fair. I get that. And I get it. Just Tokyo Ghoul as a whole is definitely better than Re as a whole, like separated. Like definitely the ways in which not only are the ways in which Tokyo Ghoul was weaker less annoying and frustrating, but they're also much more excusable. Like I am much less harsh on a debuting young 20s mangaka finding his footing than I am on like Burnout and all these other things, because it's like, well, you know, these are always issues, but like you could do it beforehand. It's like if you lose interest in your own story, that's still your problem ultimately. You know, it's your story. Yeah.
Now, one thing which is like sort of a tangent, and I guess we can move on then. But Green, did you at any point like think of the Attack on Titan ending when the Tokyo Ghoul ending stuff was happening?
Oh god, maybe a wisp. I mean, honestly, Attack on Titan has been on my mind lately because I noticed a lot of imagery that seems to be inspired from Hellsing, which we just watched, weirdly enough.
Which is also the case for Tokyo Ghoul, actually.
Oh yeah, also I didn't realize Hellsing was, you know, this seminal work that everyone copied.
I think people must be embarrassed to bring it up. I think Hiromu Arakawa probably read it and cribbed the black with red eyes thing for Pride, but then she was embarrassed to say she read like this trashy, violent, sexy manga to make her soulful one. Yeah. The diaspora of Hellsing. I'll make that one day. Just mention all the influence it's had.
I didn't think of it too much, although it definitely is there when you say it. I could really see the I forgot his fucking name, but the guy who Isayama. I could see Isayama being inspired by this, or convergent thinking, or something like that.
Something like that.
I will say that maybe this is not the best thing to fucking copy, Isayama. Yeah, because people were very confused at the end of
copies does it wrong.
Well, it's like, oh, how did Tokyo Ghoul re-end? It just got very up its own ass and stretched out, and the author was plainly keeping things going too long, and then it was a crazy clusterfuck that inexplicably ends resolving the conflict. It's like, oh, hey, what do you know? I can't be that mad. Oh my god.
Okay. Shall we?
I feel bad saying it, but on the whole, I did not like this manga.
That's understandable.
I've been trying not to be too mean about it without that much success.
I was telling Green
because
earlier,
I feel bad because
I think of this as like a 7 ultimately. Like when I take it all in calculation in my head, I was like, I think I'd give it around. It's like a weakish 7 in my head, and then Green was like, "Fuck no," and I was like, "I get you."
I honestly would say Tokyo Ghoul Re as a whole, I'd probably give it like a 4.
Ooh, that's
pretty
the
early stretch maybe would probably be in the 6-7 range. It really depends. There are parts of it that are definitely good, but that whole slog in the middle, it became actively painful to read. I just felt miserable forcing myself to sit through it, and I'm zoning out, and I just keep flipping, and it's like, yeah, Washu, yeah, CGG, yeah, Rize, yeah, RC cells, Rize, and just, it just got exhausting. Like, it really burned out my my goodwill. The ending had some good moments as well, but that middle fucking half or third, however long it was, it really ruined the manga for me. It just
broke you. Ironically, your hair went white and you became much stronger though. So it was all worth it in the end. This is the state I found.
I understand. I didn't adore Tokyo Ghoul, but I understand, you know, how it was very personal to you and how you could really like it. I do not understand how you like Tokyo Ghoul Re so much. I mean, I know you don't even like it as much as Tokyo Ghoul, but it even compared to me.
I mean, I still like Re, even with the
I like
flaws.
I like
for
Ray
me,
as well.
it's just it's mostly just the psychological stuff of all of the characters, Kaneki most of all.
I just really need the story to be there, and to me, it wasn't there at all.
Overwhelmed by the the thing.
Yeah,
Well,
though ironically, if we transition over,
this is
this stretch of To Your Eternity, are we ready to go? Or do you want to talk about Re? Or are you ready to go?
I'm ready to go. I was gonna say this is like the
let's go
worst.
through.
This is like the worst funeral procession. Just like 3 priests, like 2 of them trying to hold the third from spitting on the coffin.
Yeah. This wasn't the worst part of Tokyo
I'm
Ghoul
happy
Re.
to go into.
I didn't love it though.
To Your
This part
Eternity.
of this stretch of To Your Eternity, this is the most fun I've had reading manga in a long time.
hell yeah.
Maybe years. This might be one of the best stretches of manga
Hell
I've
yeah.
ever read in my fucking life.
I
It's
love this
incredible.
stretch
It's been the
too.
best stretch so far.
Oh, thank
It's
goodness
really good.
everyone is agreement. I'm so happy. I'm elated.
Tokyo You Eternity. Fuck me in the ass.
I just love
God
that,
damn it.
like, how often my like manga sixth sense just fucking hits, where I'm just like walk into the store that looks cool, buy it. Yep.
Nudges Green's arm, asks if he thinks it's good.
don't-
Yeah.
Oh
It
yeah.
was Green got the assist.
Green was like didn't think was not at all like you should totally buy his 20 volumes, and now he's like sticking himself into the creation myth like I did this.
Well, we have it on recording that I was a factor.
You
in
were
this.
a factor, yes.
I didn't claim total credit.
So was my
To
my
Your Eternity
inebriation
up
at the
until
time.
now. To Your Eternity up until now, it's been in the area of I am enjoying it, and I do have a great deal of respect for the manga, but I respect its artistic integrity and its vision more than I enjoy reading it.
Yeah. Like all the manga I've
where,
recommended so far, actually.
Yeah, that's true. Everything you've had has had stretches I really enjoyed, but it was just never my thing.
That's true. You like Soul Eater more. Yeah.
This section, I don't know if the manga as a whole will be this for me, but this section, I was so invested. It was like, yeah, even if we quit doing the show yesterday, I would totally finish reading this, and I would be extremely invested in it. It's just like this author's just a fucking genius.
Yeah, she's. Do you find yourself
How the
thinking?
fuck did she do it?
Do you find yourself thinking like? I keep having this thought process where
How
I
do
go.
not more people not know about it?
No,
or-
not
yeah.
just that. Not just that. Like I think to myself like, how did no one think to make a story like this? And then I realize, oh, of course, probably a lot of people did think, but thought, no, it's too much of a, it's too daunting of a thing to take on. You would be like, how about I tell this like gigantic, epic, multi-generational, time-sweeping, immortal story. It would be like, that just sounds like a fucking terrible pain in the ass. That would turn out awful. But how does she do it? It's
I don't
it's
know
nuts.
because she keeps invoking tropes and situations that are well worn. A lot of ideas there have already been tried. There are very obvious ways that this could go, because with stories like this, there's an obvious way to take it. Then maybe you can imagine there's also maybe a more dignified, less obvious way to take it, but it's still kind of a cliche. It's just a cliche for a more sophisticated tier of media consumer than what you would get into theaters or something like that.
They get dragged
And
into like a
that's what
black hole of like sameness, of like the structure of like a tried and true epic, sort of, where they become like not exactly hero's journey, but they turn into like these gradual escalation, big ends in a like kind of a religious, historic, big finale thing, and they kind of all tend to be the same. I can't think of like examples, but I know what I'm talking about in my head, and it's it avoids
one of the
that.
most obvious. Any story with an immortal, one of the most obvious, like the obvious way to take it is like, oh man, immortality is such a bummer. You should really try to be mortal, because that's what gets it. But then, the smarter way to do it is like, oh, well, the person is stuck with it. They can't change it. It's interesting. If they're, rather than just undoing the situation, how would they make the best of it? Isn't that interesting?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the smart person cliche. That's the obvious way to go if you're trying to be a little more sophisticated than, the bottom of the barrel thing.
Yeah.
Then she fucking just finds like an escape hatch on the roof and manages to go, no, let's make it even more complicated,
Yes.
but then take it totally sincerely.
Yeah.
It's like, what if there are actually, maybe immortality is good, or no, maybe mortality is good, and the monsters actually think they're doing the right thing. But then, what if they're the spirits of the people who you met and are copying are also kind of around, and there's a guy who can see fucking ghosts or some shit? And they're like, there's this back and forth between all these different visions of how it can go, and we still don't know what Hood Guy's up to, but it seems really important. He's an interesting character, not the author, like Hood Guy.
Sorry,
like he's clearly up to something. He's clearly up to fucking something, but we don't know what. But it feels like it makes sense. Like it's not the obvious way to take it.
He has his own personality too, which is like interesting. Like he's not just. He's not just like some completely soulless, divorced figure. He's like kind of parental in a way. He's sort of like conniving
and playful. It reminds me of Terry Pratchett a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah.
Where or like the way Terry Pratchett does death specifically. I'm thinking about.
I don't know enough, but yeah.
Well, Terry Pratchett's vision of death, he manages to play into a lot of the stereotypes of what death would be like. But he also really makes it his own and introduces, character aspects and personality quirks that you've never seen before with a death person, but it totally makes sense that would be part of it. So it feels both super traditional, but also incredibly fresh and unique and just totally his own. And that's kind of where we are here, where she just keeps slowly adding layers. It amazes me how fucking complicated this is getting.
Yes.
And it doesn't. Yeah. It
this
doesn't
would be
feel
so hard to
overwhelming
explain
because it's
to someone,
so fucking gradual.
Yeah. The
like slowly adding to the power, slowly adding to the political situation.
Yeah.
Now there's a cult who is trying to kill him in addition to the one trying to help him. Yeah, people are being fucking gay and shit. Like all kinds of stuff is going on.
I realized during the stretch what it reminded me of. We floated out like stuff that it reminds us of the whole time. Like early on, we were like Spirit Circle and some Golden Communion and stuff. And this stretch made me realize it also reminds me a lot of like the gradual feeling I got from Dr. Stone. A lot of it, where it's like,
like
building up a little, and building up a little
yeah.
community, not just going through time, but like the advancement in like what the mechanics are. Gradually discovering what the knockers are up to is very similar to like when they find out the weird stuff with like the voice that freezed everyone in time. Building up this small group of people with different skill sets and stuff. Yeah, just
they
like
got to the point from the original bad guy who was just some mean lady poisoning people and shooting arrows at them.
Yes,
we have gotten to the point where her great grandson, who maybe has her soul and embodies this inherited will to fuck him, but he's a guy, but he has girl forms too, and the knocker is still in the arm
and is proposing
but now the knocker is fucking talking is now talking to people.
Yes,
and then he like almost halfway sexually assaults her, and he gets a talking to from the weird prince guy. Like if you try to explain I forget his name, but the male guardian character.
Kahaku. You mean Kahaku, right?
Kahaku. He is such a weird Byzantine character that is the product of like he's the product of 10 very weird specific things happening in a row that I have never seen before. And
he only gets weirder from here, you'll be pleased to know.
If you tried to introduce him sight unseen into the story, it would be jarring, it would feel try-hard, it would be awkward and confusing, it would frustrate you. But because it's been built up so gradually, we can just accept so many things about this character that are literally fucking insane, but it feels totally normal. Because we started with the guy starving to death in the ice flow and just slowly moved here for over like 200 years.
That is, I'm sure you feel the same way about Bon Chien, La Tasty Peach Uralis.
Yeah. He's like the most complex character so far.
Good character.
Yes.
I hated him when I first saw him. He's actually be
been
amazing.
so stupid. This guy shows up. He's got the dumbest name you've ever seen. He looks like a fucking asshole, and he's being a fucking retard and pointing and being like, shoo, shoo, and being like, I'm the greatest, la, 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 blah, blah, blah. And then you're like, what the fuck? Where has he been my whole life? It's like he's the biggest bro. Yeah.
All the stereotypes, all the bad assumptions you make about him are true.
Yes,
they're just true in the
that's
most
what I love about
incredible
it.
way.
It's not like oh, she was tricking me. She made him. He only acts that way to throw people off. It's dumb. It's like no. He's the biggest, most selfish, royal, pampered prick. But he's the best person in the world. He's the coolest.
Yeah, he's really selfish and entitled, but it plays out in a way that makes him a really good leader and a really sweet person. And
he's the funniest motherfucker on the planet.
Oh my god! The thing
he has his own magazine named after himself that he publishes regularly in this universe. I don't know why. Why is it so good?
He is fucking amazing, and also his sister, him just having a sister that talks like a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Gotta say, she talks with a Portuguese accent, which I found interesting.
It's so funny.
Where she says the S's as shit. There was a brief period where I thought there was a character named Show that I had somehow missed. I was flipping through wondering if that was a nickname
She's, again, a good example of something could be obnoxious, but she's so silly. She's in a barrel the whole second half. They go into town, and she's, like, in the barrel, like, looking in through the window. Is someone carting her barrel around? It's like, and to what end is she in the barrel? Because, like, everyone seems to know she's there at some point. It's like she just likes being in the barrel. And it's like, you think... I love that Bond's family is so fucking silly, because it seemed for a second like they were going to be like this, you know, they're going to be this weird thing where like his mother would be like this weird controlling, like I don't know, the Zoldyck mom, or his brother, it'd be like this weird rivalry. But no, everyone's just like super chill, and his dad's just like, you're not really fit to be
tiny bearded man.
You're not fit to be king, because you're just kind of like, you should be out there just like rallying the troops, and your brother is way more interested. You know, while you're publishing your own zine and hanging out with your sister choosing silly outfits, your brother is like doing community work. I think it's perfectly... I love that scene where he hugs him and he's like, Dad, I caught the immortal. This means I'm king right now. And his dad's like hugging him too. It's like, these are separate matters, son. It's like, yeah. It's just so silly. Oh man, there's so much to talk about. We already
past that point.
Yeah, we're already into it. Yeah,
I didn't get words in, but one of the things that it reminded me of, specifically with the increased metaphysical revelations, is Land of the Lustrous, which,
I'd love to read it.
there's some overlap.
Well, I think it just reminds everyone of like lots of manga they like in a really good way, where it's like, yeah, I like that. I liked it then and I like it now.
I gotta say real quick, I feel like we're starting to get some insights into the author a little bit. I feel like I'm understanding a bit more about her. This author very clearly at some point in her life has been completely fucking cooked and is prone to depression and an obsession with death and souls and like life and memories, and obviously something that's very personal to her is informing this at this point, because he's contemplating suicide at the beginning, thinking maybe I'll just turn back into a little orb and then no one... Yeah, but will I forget the people? But maybe, I don't know, they're in the afterlife or something. I don't know.
Dude.
They introduced so much shit in this. Like, he can maybe bring people back to life. Like, they just...
Yes.
Yep.
I was staring at it like, this doesn't feel like they're going too far, but it should be going too far.
Doesn't it weird you out? I'm reading this in Tankobon forums, because like it's been established. I bought every volume. When I see on the cover from the author of the New York Times manga bestseller A Silent Voice, that just seems so weird to me because it's like what? It's like if the guy who wrote Toradora just like afterwards was like, okay, now hold my beer. I'm not no shade on any of this. I love Toradora, I love rom-coms, but that's like what I would expect of this author would be like, oh yeah, she's a good, and especially it's a very typical thing not to get in stereotypes with like a female authors to write more, shoujo rom-com stuff. And it's like, she's like, okay, for my next manga, I want to do like the headiest fucking esoteric meaning of life fucking trip you've ever been on. And the people were like, sure, fuck it, you did a silent voice, right? Go ahead. And she's like, sure. It fucking pulls it off. It's like,
and she does.
Yeah, it's like, and she pulls it off. It's like, what the hell? Oh man,
it's so weird because I'm sure Silent Voice is good. I'm sure
it's good, but it's like I don't think it has any similarity to this.
Fucking genius, like this seems to be.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
She might literally be the most creative author, working right now or something.
She's like, up there.
I mean, she's up there with, I guess,
the Chainsaw Man guy. Maybe? I would put up there.
Fujimoto, Tagashi once every 5 years.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's it, actually. Less than your fingers can count.
The author of Land of the Lost.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
One thing. I mean, I'll just
like pick scenes and gush about them. Do it.
One thing that this introduces that we've been waiting for, this stretch, and this might be part of why I'm starting to like it more. This stretch is absolutely dripping with sexuality in the most tasteful way and the most appropriate.
It started in last stretch with "I want to have your babies." I want to point that out. This is when it starts to get really good. I think was last stretch because that's where we introduce a lot of the stuff that is bearing fruit now. Like when he went on that island and 40 years passed, and then we start getting reincarnation and fucking religions forming around him. This is the shit. Yeah, we're in.
Yeah, it is crazy though.
Everyone's horny.
Characters are growing,
except for Ban Xian because he's a weirdo. Yeah.
Ban? That's fun.
I mean, he also he also grows.
No, he does, but not. No. I get that, but yeah. Okay. Oh man, so many scenes are good, but like,
remember him sitting on his servant and being like, "I refuse to sit on a chair that has gay feelings
and
for
then
me."
They bring it around to the point where you're like, I empathize. Actually, making people your chairs is a great thing he's doing, and he's cool for doing it. Honestly,
God, he was sitting on the woman he loves without realizing.
And that scene where she's like, "Oh, I was walking around the castle," and he was like, "You there? You're plump. Get the fuck down here and be my chair." And she's like, "I was so happy."
Oh my fucking God.
Okay,
how incredible was this scene where they're in the cages, and this is after they foreshadowed with the book where they talk about the.
God.
They have a book that is in this world where two condemned criminals, they can see each other's backs because of this weird device they're in. How fucking crazy is that? And you're like, this is pretty crazy. And then they do it in the story, and you see her body, and she's turned back into the sexy girl.
And it's like allegory of the fucking cave shit. And they have a weight mechanic because of her losing weight and how much food they get. Oh, this is like, what the fuck? God. How did we get here? How did we get here?
It's just fucking genius,
how amazing! Man. How amazing is? I just want to go on this whole stretch because, like, okay, it all ties into each other because it's like that book is given to Fushi by Kahaku as a way to make him understand love because he's got the hots for him.
Kahaku's grooming Fushi!
Yes! And he gives him the book! And then we have a scene where Fushi dotes on this doll and is like having these weird feelings. It's like, what is so weird about loving a doll? And then they run outside and he asks him if he wants to be... That's like the most incredible scene ever because it's like every single aspect of it is amazing because he asks Fushi to be his wife, Banshien is like pouring the coffee like fucking Kaneki, and it's like dumbfounded. And then Fushi's reaction is like, "Oh, I don't know about all this," and he hugs him forcefully. He feels the compelled to puke and runs off and vomits. And then we have an amazing scene where Kaku's like groping him, and he turns into all the other forms, and he's like, I do not care if you're I don't care if you're a 14-year-old boy, I don't care if you're a 65-year-old woman, I don't care if you're a fucking 3-year-old girl, I just fucking have got the hots for you. And then it's perfect because he's like, he runs off, it turns into the booze man, hits him in the head, then runs off, and it's like an old man being like, Kohaku tried to touch me. It's like everyone's being like, what? And then
he hugged me without my
amazing
consent.
revelation being like, this body was fucking murdered in the face by your fucking ancestor, and she has like lingering residual hatred for you. How do you feel about that? And Kahaku's like, and then it's just so fucked up on so many levels, because it's like what I love about it, I think what I love most about it is the Kahaku, that line about like, is this what you fucking people did all this for? Is it because you can't help but try and hug me? Like this whole time, from Hayase trying to lick my face, and all this murder, and all this fucking pan-generational fucking guilt and things, and thinking he'd broken the cycle, and Kahaku's no better than any of them. He's no better. Hayase was probably the nicest one, where she was like cute and innocent enough. Sorry, I mean Hirame, or whatever the fuck she was called. Hisame was like the nicest when she went off and she got over it and she formed the fucking family. But even then, she was cursed with his fucking tainted bloodline, and Kaku can't help but get his fucking grubby little hands on him. And the funniest thing is, like, it is grooming, because Fushi is such a weird, like, you know, even though he's been alive for so long, he is so childlike in so many ways, and it's so messed up to try and, you know, and throw on him all these concepts of love and intimacy and marriage and sexuality, which he has no fucking idea about, just because you find one of their forms sexy. That's what's going on. And it's like, I don't think I've ever seen this this exact situation in anything. It's so weird.
More emotionally complicated. Fushi gets sarcastic in this one. Remember when Fushi looked over and is smirking meanly and grinning, going like,
I keep saying this from the part from back when he was a dog. Like, she has done such a good job of very realistically, like, drop by drop, making Fushi more of a person. And it's like, you see all the DNA. He's gained all these attitudes and ideas from all the people he's known across the various arcs, and it's like, I kneel, I seppuku, I behead myself.
DeGrasse Tyson.
I also really like the inclusion that his bodies actually do affect him. Like that.
Yes, that's right. That's right. He's like, this isn't my body, and he looks on his hands, and it's like, yeah, that is super interesting too, because that also is like hinting at like people coming back to life almost, because it's like, all this time we've thought, oh, he's just making their form. There's nothing to it. He's just wearing them like a glove. Motor memory is all that is remaining for like good archery. But it's like, no, when he turns into March, he likes dolls more, probably. When he turns into Gugu, he feels more like Gugu. It's like, that is an interesting aspect.
It is implied like that all the souls are imprisoned in his body. Like, this is like one of the things that is said by the Knocker.
When the Knockers are stealing the souls away, it's like they're trying to free them. Yeah, the Knocker. Maybe we should just. I forget the exact order, but like having the Knockers at this point after so long become like more of a character is such a genius move too. And having like this rogue Knocker that we don't know like what their deal is, and finding out like what the ultimate goal of the Knockers is, that they're like, it becomes this like spiritual, you know, mind versus matter thing, and they're from their point of view, they're freeing people. And you have that scene. I like that scene early on when Fushi asks the guy in the cloak how many people have been killed by Knockers so far, which is something that people have been wondering. It's like, oh, 13,000, just casually, and it's like, what? It's like so many people have fucking died. But then that's an interesting scene later on when he's like realizes that the Knockers, while they are particularly interested in Fushi, their ultimate goals are outside of him, and that means that they have been acting this way. It's not just oh, if I'd be better off dead because they'd stop attacking people and they come after me and I'm the herald of chaos. It's like, you know, you tried your hardest, and yeah, and in one way it's like 10,000 people. It's like another way it's like only 10,000 people, because so many organizations and awarenesses and defenses have been built around Knockers because of Fushi's actions. You know, a lot of people have been saved too. That's very interesting. Yeah. Green, say more thing about manga you like.
I don't know. The stuff with the Knockers was not the interesting part to me this time. It was fine. It was the plot. It moved things along. It was good for what it was. Other than the arm writing and claiming, oh, they tricked me at one point. Like, how did the arm knocker can be lied to by the other knockers?
Maybe. We don't know.
They seem to be like some weird hive mind.
The stuff with Bond having magic powers is so subtle, and they're so, or maybe magic isn't the right word.
Yeah.
How long did it take you guys?
The guy
how long did it take you guys to realize that his friends were ghosts?
Not very long.
I noted this.
Yeah, when the sword goes through the guy in the training.
Yeah, guy's head.
when that happened, what I thought it was communicating is that the sword had cut through his pants. And barely missed his dick, and then hit the tree.
I thought
it took me a while. And with the guy with the sword in his head, I just thought, oh yeah, this is a world where a guy would have.
Sure, that wouldn't be that weird. But I think we're supposed to think this, but I thought the girl he met at the start was a ghost because I think that's on purpose, because he mentions seeing a girl, then no one sees her, and then sister is like, oh, he's in love with a girl. It's like, oh, it's one of those, and then the mom like ties him to a bed and he gets a phlebotomy, and I'm like, oh fuck. But then we later find out that the mom fired the daughter, so the mom knew that was a real girl and thought she was trying to seduce Bond, but also was like, you're crazy and I'm gonna maybe make you think it's a ghost. I'm not sure. Bond is great. I love, not only can he see the spirits, but he can see all the ones around Fushi, and he can see the guy in the cloak too the whole time, which is fucking nuts. And that's really cool too, because every time early on he keeps saying weird stuff. He's like he keeps going shoo shoo shoo, which is really funny because he keeps telling the guys shut up. Then he's also like, oh, I just had a feeling that you were the immortal one, and then we find it's Tonari, and fuck. I was gonna say one last one.
People explain his behavior by claiming he's epileptic.
Yeah,
or something,
people think he converses with demons. They think he's nuts.
Yeah, which we're not sure that's wrong. We'll find. It is an incredible role reversal, because him telling Fushi what Gugu is saying, when he doesn't even know Gugu exists anymore. He lost Gugu as the form and the memories at one point.
Yes.
And Bond is talking is communicating for Gugu to him, because Fushi is always the weird one and everyone else is always marveling at how crazy he is. Yeah. Fushi met someone arguably weirder than him. which is crazy.
And he gives March the doll. That's
that's
really
like
sweet.
Super great.
Yeah.
On the ground floor.
It's good.
And
also,
I don't know who.
Sorry, I was choking. Go ahead.
Also, just the stuff in the cages, like
with the mother. Yeah, they can see the guy's mom. The kid's mom.
I'm sure. No, what I just meant, like in terms of Bond being a cool character, like his stuff where it looks like he is going to say to the church people, oh yeah, Fushi is a devil and stuff like that, and he does say that, and at the end he still says nope. That's the key scene. Like his face just saying, I love Fushi. After all, that is the greatest. Is one of the greatest panels ever.
It was cool.
He didn't have to do that at all. He was totally prepared
No,
to
he
just
didn't.
die over this. Yeah.
He has character, you man.
He learns a lot.
It's cool.
That when he stopped. How great is it when is it Chapo?
Yeah.
For a second I thought that guy was also a ghost, but it was just a real kid in the cage. They just put him there to weigh out the fat guy, which is really funny. The girl, sorry.
Yeah. The fat lady. Tabled
sorry.
on the other foot now.
So yes. When he's like, I'll share some bread with you, and he snatches both pieces of bread.
Yeah.
But then that's like such a silly scene. But then later you have him be like, you can have my portion instead. It's like, how do we get so much character growth in this cage with no one around? It's like,
Well, you just need to imprison people and they become better.
and it's
better
totally
people.
believable from the point of view of the larger world building, where you're like, this isn't just a plot device, because when you think about it, it's like, if you were just these kind of medievalish society, you know, it is normal to be really suspicious of Fushi. Like, he goes around influencing people, his weird powers, and Bon seems like he's just like a crazy person who's been possessed by demons or influenced by a devil, and he's giving all these weird answers like, how did you know he was Fushi? Oh, I just was like drawn to him, and I can see dead people. And it's like, what?
I actually had a moment. I'm definitely not committed to this, but you know, they go through the whole thing where Fushi accidentally brings someone back from the dead. Maybe, this is going to be fucked up. The doll that Fushi gets. There was a moment, because when Fushi accidentally resurrects that the daughter of that lord, and Fushi doesn't know he did it. Yeah. I was really nervous, thinking, oh god, the moment Fushi walks away, she's gonna fucking turn into dust or something. God damn it. And there was a moment when it panned to the doll. There was a brief moment where I thought, oh no, the princess turned into a weird sack of rotten flesh, and she's sitting in a chair. Because she's like in a cave. But one thing I did think of, I don't think this is likely, but a little part of me was like, maybe Bon is the actual resurrectionist somehow, or he's accidentally redirecting Fushi's power to bring people back from the dead without realizing it. A little part of me thought it could be a clever twist if it was actually Bon causing that instead of Fushi, or he was at least involved. I'm not saying I think that's the case. It was an idea.
We do get weird things with that when he tries to resurrect the priest and he can't do it. So we're not sure.
That was the part that got me, because Bon is trying to piece through it, and he's like, well, he never saw him alive. Well, it's like Bon, you were involved too. Maybe you changed something.
I wasn't sure.
But I'm
still not sure about this. I know a bit more than you guys do, but but at this point, I was like, when I read this first, I was like, did he? Because Bond posits the theory that it's because he knew her in life, but I thought it might have been just because he made a corpse so close to her death. Like, her soul was still in the vicinity, and when it left one, it popped into the other. Whereas the priest guy, his soul is long gone to the afterlife or whatever, so it couldn't come back. I was like,
yeah, and we also saw Bond talk, or at least acknowledge that the soul was in
he could see the spirit looking over the thing, and then she wasn't there because she was in the body. And I thought it was going to come back as like a weird animated zombie corpse or something, but no, she's like fine. He even cured her of her disease, so it's like, holy shit. And then it's really clever that, because this would be such a game changer, but Bond keeps it secret for understandable personal reasons, where he's like, once he asks him, he's like, if you could hang out with all your past lives instead of me, would you? And he's like, yeah, they're my friends. And he's like, well, fuck. He tears up the letter, and it's like, it's kind of mean, but it's also like, when he says later at some point, like, it isn't the right time for him to know. And it's like, I think you might be right, because the figure does that all the time too. The masked guy knows everything Fushi could accomplish, and it's really satisfying, because whenever Fushi asks him something, he tells him. He just doesn't tell him things of his own accord because he's interested in observing him. So it's like, if Fushi just asks,
like, also just knows,
if Fushi just asks the masked man, like, can I bring people back to life? He'd be like, oh yeah, of course. duh, just try doing it. Like later he asks him like, oh, what if I try like extending myself into making larger objects? He's like, oh yeah, sure, just do this.
Well, didn't the mask guy volunteer the idea like you could have sex if you want? I feel like
he
that
did.
came out.
He did. But that still was after the topic had come up because the point of making babies had been brought up to Fushi. He's like, I don't know how that works, and the guy's like, well, you could if you wanted to. You know, you have fully functional reproductive organs.
Oh, that's fair.
To be fair, that's only in the forms he turns into, not specifically an aspect of him. Like it is true that the forms he takes could get pregnant or have babies. Yeah. If you turned into an impotent person, you couldn't do it, probably.
Yeah. Like if he turned into Bond,
Although
for example.
He does fix people's diseases when he turns into them, so maybe? I don't know.
Maybe. I gotta say, I had a very strong feeling, because they brought up sex, and there was just sexual stuff going on throughout this chapter. Part of me really thought that him having sex, and probably in a female form, was going to happen during this stretch. I feel like it's definitely coming soon, since it didn't happen this time, because it just really felt like it was leading to that, like him becoming like sexually curious, and everyone around him having sexual feelings, and him becoming more complicated because he's starting to experience it. Maybe maybe not the next stretch, but it really feels like they're going there.
And stuff like that. Yeah.
Damn it. Knocking whatever the fuck his name is, Guardian San.
Kahaku.
It was so funny.
All of Heise's here's how you remember it. All of Heise's I'm just going to say all of Heise's family have a ha in their name, in case you haven't noticed so far. That's like the thread.
Okay. Yeah. What a funny joke. Ha 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 ha. ha. But Kahaku, him just floating out the idea of like, men could love men. We're living in interesting times. Like it's just
because he's just so horny. He's just so horny.
He thinks he's so sneaky. He thinks he's so clever.
His soul has been passed down with such horniness. Yeah. Speaking of funny things that you might not have noticed, did you guys? I'm gonna be not crazy, but I was so happy that I figured this out. Did you guys figure out what the fuck the deal with the horse is?
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, it's Purin's soul, right?
Yes, but that's so funny. But did you guys because I figured it out in a really stupid way, because
I mean, it took me a little bit, but once he's going, oh, you can catch fish, and he's like, oh my god, it's like, oh yeah, Purin can catch fish.
I figured out earlier than that, though, because the cover of Volume 9 is Fushi riding a young Purin, and I was like, oh, Purin must come back in this volume. But then I leafed through the whole thing, and I was like, where the fuck is she? And it's like, she's not there. It's the horse. I was like, because she said, I want to come back as something useful for Fushi. So it's like, and she telegraphs it too, because when they go into the stables for his gift, she's like, was this? Yes. And then it's like an immortal regenerating horse, and I'm like, oh my god, Purin is back, and she's an Uma. It's happened.
Yeah, she's a horse.
Gold ship has invaded.
Gold ship is real, and she's an old lady, a grumpy old lady.
Life is full of mysteries.
Chapeau, mangaka. Good job.
One thing that I sort of thought, or may still be thinking in terms of foreshadowing, like Bon said, or at least he believes he can see his future, and that he sees himself.
Yeah, he says
as
I can
king.
see everything. Yes.
Yeah, and we have the end situation where Bon in his new persona is negotiating with the princes of the capital of the entire kingdom, or whatever it is, and I somehow believe that's foreshadowing that he will become king of that kingdom, and not of his own.
Yeah, what is it called? Renless.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
it's like Renya.
Yeah. That wouldn't be strange.
Because it's all this conversation about the princess or queen or whatever, being very, very.
I think you might be right.
Take over the kingdom.
Well, he's a natural leader, which is incredible.
He is,
because the whole thing. I think the dad is full of crap. Because if a leader or someone in a position of authority
that's just taking the
the
safe route, basically. Yeah,
I know, but if someone presents themselves as being pure and holy and only interested in the welfare of others, you don't really trust that because you just go, oh, this is obviously fake, or you have some ulterior motives, or you don't understand yourself. People that, people look to as leaders, they're often people that are very plainly selfish and personally motivated.
Yeah.
But they're good at managing relationships and winning you over. And it's like, yeah. This is my party, but I'm cool to hang out with, and I'll help you out if you help me out. Like, that's the type of guy you really can have a power relationship with. And he's just so good at that. Like, he's self-interested, but he keeps it fun, and he cares about other people, and
he remembers.
It's like Matthew, where he remembers everybody's names.
Exactly. He remembers everyone. He keeps like in mind, like, oh, you had a baby and all these things. It makes him really likable. I like his new look too. He's just like a dude.
He's
very different after that.
Yeah.
Almost
He
like
shaved his. He didn't just shave his tiny mustache. He shaved like his cheek whiskers. And the only thing he kept was like a slight pompadour.
One of my few problems with that, and it's partially because of the name, because the chapter after he's killed,
his name now is Baron Springroll.
I think it's called Fantasy and Reality, and it starts with all of Fushi's forms, talking to him, and some of them seem to be interacting with the physical world. It took me a while to accept that he actually was alive, because for a while I really couldn't tell, is this him being alive, or is this him moving into like a hyperspace dimension where all of Fushi's souls are, and he's like on the team now?
And they do that fake out sort of a lot. When someone dies, you'll get a scene of them like interacting with the other people. Exactly. You expect the main character to die at the end of the arc.
Like it really felt like it's like any chapter or any episode that ends in like X person the brave, or the gallant or something. Something really bad is going to happen. It's like fantasy and reality, and he thinks he's
there
alive.
There was one
like
that near the end of Re. No. I noticed like one of the chapters thought it was something like that too.
Biscuit hammer foreshadowing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Maybe that's why I thought about it.
Yeah. Like it's whatever the fuck the mouse.
Oh my god.
One tiny little sort of criticism I have is when Fushi is getting boiled in silver, basically, like this whole experience of being stuck in there. I kind of don't like it that it does not seem to have like any psychological effect on him. Like that it did not seem to
just don't be a little bitch.
That's true. It was a clever way of getting out of it.
I would walk that shit right off.
I did enjoy because he gets hit with the lava, well, not lava, the molten iron first, and that's how he can make it, because it left an impact on him. Yeah. And then he makes it, and he like melts his shape.
Iron Fist.
That was a weirdly metal thing to happen.
And he's getting stronger now too. Literally. He had issues making liquids before.
Yes,
and now he can make. Now he's doing this
thing, and he can. And
he's getting a lot of use out of this too. He's punching people with it. He's like melting iron bars with slag.
By the end of it, he has become. That's a really clever thing of the. When something pops off of him, he can't change it anymore. But while it's attached to him, he can just make, and then he starts making. That's really clever. Like, I love all the mechanics of like that. He starts making stuff out of the tip of his rope, and then he makes like fucking to kill that knocker. He like makes a whole forest, and then the branch turns into a sword, and it's like that's all just an extension of him. And it's like, I guess there was no reason to think like Fushi is just like. He can take the shape of whatever the fuck thing he wants by doing multiples at the same time. He's always been able to do that when he makes a sword out of his hand. He's doing two forms at once. He just decides to sever them. So if he keeps them stuck together, he can just keep daisy chaining them. And it
I am a little
becomes
scared
ridiculous. Yeah.
Because at the end, the last couple chapters, which again, I feel like we really didn't need those, Michi. This was a long stretch. It was arc to arc, not Michi's gets bored.
Well, if someone wasn't reading them up to the last second before the voice call, he would have. I read these many days ago, so I was fine with the chapter length. Actually,
it's all good. Hey, you could have had a section 3 times
I just
as
have
long,
too much
and I
good
would have been
manga.
fine with it.
Oh, look at
It
all
just
this good
ended
manga
in,
I'm being forced to consume. Oh,
it's literally my life.
The next stretch goes to like chapter 110. If I had kept it longer, then you would have been suffering on the next way around. So count yourself lucky. I'm dividing it like this.
I am the luckiest man. This is well known. Oh God! I'm sorry. I was looking at my notes. One of my notes is just objectively wrong.
Just right. Sex in all caps.
I had a note about what a clever fake out the sword going through the guy's legs was. I was like, no, I was just wrong.
What a weirdo.
I was a little scared at the end. Having the hood guy explain the powers in this much detail, I was getting a little nervous, thinking, okay, we already got him doing the molten metal thing. That's a very big escalation.
Start button to save your game.
I'm just a little afraid that he's hitting the gas a little hard on Fushi's powers, because if Fushi is basically a god in the next arc, where are we going to go from there? But I'm sure fucking somewhere, so let's not even worry about it.
I forgot to mention funny detail when the guy, just before they noticed Kahaku's knocker can write in his arm, the reason why they find out is because Kahaku gets blind drunk because being rejected by Fushi, which is really funny. That tries to stab the knocker out of his own arm. That's cute.
Yeah, if I can't. Oh god, it's also sad too.
That,
it's like
that amorphous Lovecraftian horror.
How much does it suck for him that he literally falls in love with the Perona form, which his great grandmother slaughtered?
Yes.
And apparently the form remembers him, which is they just need to find. He needs to capture a form that was really into the grandmother.
I mean, it's better than if he was into certain other forms, I suppose. But he did say by the end that he doesn't give a shit what form it is. He'll fucking give him a smooch.
A few other just random notes I have. One, in the swamp, at one point he turns into Purin while he's getting stomped. And I just found myself thinking, how bad is it when you're turned into Purin trying to win a fight?
Right. Yeah.
When he's in the molten iron core, we get a little monologue on how life has periods of stagnation and you just have to languish and suffer because it's all you can really do, and you gradually forget why you cared in the first place. The author clearly had some really fucked up depression period in their life.
I really felt that section when they're just like personally, it had nothing to do. I've never been encased in a big metal thing and molten to my very core, but I got where they were coming from.
Yeah. I at one point I put Fushi is a Fujo because of the doll thing.
Funny little Minecraft things I enjoyed in this part too. Like I liked when Fushi just leaves the palace and makes himself a little Minecraft house.
Oh, I actually, one of my notes, my third note, which I was getting to, actually is niggas playing Minecraft.
Makes himself a little bed and sets a spawn point. And then he's like, well, brick by brick, I can only make bricks so far. And then the Banshan, it doesn't even care. He's like, I don't mind. Just have the guys build sure, you can say out here. I love the Bon also senses Fushi everywhere. So the repeated scenes where he keeps turning into a mole to escape and Bon just jumps and goes, wait a second, and grabs him. When he turns into a bird, he throws a book at his head and knocks him out. Also, there was a certain point, I forget when this was, but when Fushi's going through all his forms to fight, he turns into Chair Girl and blocks an attack with a chair. I was like, this is some fucking, the attention to detail is like stupefacting.
R.I.P. Hulk Hogan.
Oh,
he died today. He would have loved this.
He was a big fan of Cheer Eternity. Okay, well, getting to the last the last bit the Green hates for some reason. Now we have a little speaking of more Minecraft, we got a new biome, and Fushi's gonna build a fucking boat. And he rescues another character I love, Iddy, my gal. Yes.
I thought we're doing this now.
I thought it was something weird. Were you guys probably confused by the pot thing?
Yeah, like does the pot come out of her? Or does she make it out of mud?
Well, this is like the very next chapter. I'll just say it now. I was confused too because I was like, when the guy is at the fair with these two children and he's saying they're like weird underground people like dwarves called the something or others. I'm like, oh, it's just like two kids covered in dirt and they're being like exploited and then one of them dies. This sucks. But actually, no, they really are a different race of like weird dwarf people, and they communicate through their earthenware pots. Like that's why there were two. I thought they're just like pots with like food or like their toilets maybe, but no. Like in these underground places, these people just like make pots and then they pass their pots between each other, and that's how they communicate like more complex thoughts and ideas, like a weird form of telepathy. So that's why when Fushi turns into the form of one of her people, he can receive memories through the pots. It's kind of weird, but it
also
comes
reminds
up.
me a little bit of Pratchett.
And then we come up,
Not
and then we end
exactly,
with the ship in a ship, and Fushi's the whole forest, and he's a big man.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the. I mean, I'm not because I've read it, but you guys should be excited for the next stretch. Yeah, I'm excited for your guys' excitement. Yeah.
Yep.
Is
I
there
think my final thought is,
else?
hey, Mushoku Tensei.
Yeah, I've been saying that.
Yeah, because Rudy. Well, maybe just I was wondering the timing a little bit. I don't know if it's plausible that she did get buying the cage girl from Mushoku, but I don't know.
Actually, well, he didn't buy her. He
melted her out of the cage, stole her. He tried to buy her, but the guy was like, "This is my whole livelihood, bro."
Well,
that was interesting too.
This is the good version of
that
Mushoku.
That was slightly interesting.
A
him trying to give money. That's also Shield Hero. Him trying to give money to some lady and her being like, "Oh, do you get off on like I don't know, I forget her exact wording, but she's like, you want to like control people through like your kindness and spirits and stuff." And he's like, "Damn it, it's kind of interesting." That's a very complicated human emotion to have to add to your repertoire. So I'm glad he's coming up on the advanced stuff here. Yeah, great.
Every time you say coming up, I just think everything's coming up.
Like everything's coming up, Michi. Yes. Well, great stretch, great manga. The Kino, let's go. Yeah. Speaking of Kino,
unfortunately, we only have 15 minutes for Biscuit Hammer. Not really, but we should move on.
We should.
Yeah, Michi, go, Michi, go.
It was great. It was great. It was really good. It was really great again. I was like,
I'm so vindicated yet again.
I was like, how is it so good, bros? As I was reading it. Chapter 35. Yeah. Oh God, I always have to go on the website for this shit.
Oh yeah, that was one of my notes actually. When I'm looking at my notes and it says, "Whenever a chapter ends in ... the brave, you're in trouble." So yeah, that was where I remembered it. Rip mouse.
Yeah,
guy. You were a real one.
I don't know what it is. It's like the earnestness of this manga just like draws it out of me. I was fucking. I was watery-eyed. It's like unfair too, because it's like, I know what you're fucking doing when you're putting him in all these chapters, and I'm like, well, it's just like some mouse guy with like some silly design, and they just like went out and ate food with him for some reason. But he just needs like one flashback chapter where they're like kids is being like, this guy, he's thoughtful and he wants to be a chef and he's got this girl he's crushing on, and then just fucking jumps in front of her. They both get stabbed. I thought they were both gonna fucking die. And then just that was like the greatest manga page I've ever seen. Like the I love you, I know.
Naruto's parents getting stabbed.
Fuck that shit. How dare you degrade this with such fucking garbage? No, this is like that, but fucking good. The just I love you, I know, and the way they were drawn was so perfect. And I was like marveling at this manga page and being like, how does he do it? How does he do it? I don't understand. I understand.
This is the whole point. Like, this is Mizukino.
Yes.
As it is.
I'm remembering, but yeah.
It's that beautiful little point between, characters having very sincere, earnest emotions, but also this lightheadedness with it where none of it also matters. It's the beauty of appreciating something that's fundamentally fleeting and you can't hold on to it, and you're just with the characters while they're feeling what they're feeling, and then it just floats away.
He so often presents things in such a nonchalant way, just throws them out, which are incredibly important, that it makes them like I will read a little speech bubble in the corner of a page with like no fanfare, and it'll be like the most important thing anyone's ever said, and I'll be like, what? Like they just offhandedly remark like that he didn't need I didn't even thought about that, but the whole point of his dream that he moved to block the attack anyway. They're just like that's just like a speech bubble on the corner of a page. I know it's an important thing, but it's not like a big dramatic 1-page scene where they say it. It's just like a tiny little panel, and you read that and you're like, that's the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. And I was like, that's perfect. That he wished for her to survive any fatal injury, and yet he still moved to block the attack against her anyway. And then they just say like he's a true hero, and I was like, I was moved. Even I, who have a stony cold heart, and I never cry at anything except everything. I tear up at every episode of Medalist. I was catatonic.
Remember when they talked about the other dead people? Like, they were men we respected, but
they were adults.
A mouse guy was a boy loved by all.
I know.
No.
I know. And she's crying on the floor, and then a horse guy finds her after she killed the golem, and they mentioned earlier how he didn't tear up, how he just responsibly got rid of the body, and now he has tears running down his face, and I'm like, no, not horse. I can stand every other character crying, but if horse guy cries, I'm also gonna cry.
Unfortunately, I did notice this time there are a few slightly jank faces in the
there's always jank faces, but fuck it, that's way less than early on. The funniest one to me was, I have it here. In the stream, the funniest jank face this time, the jank face award goes to when Animus says I like to sleep in the sky, and his chin is 15 times the length for no reason. Why did he do that? It's like he turned into the Chad meme. It's like, it looks like I can see the line. The line goes here. This is the line. It's like he took the white out. He was like cleaning up the frame, and he went whoopsie daisy, and then he submitted the wrong version. What the fuck happened?
If I squint at it, my brain automatically puts the line where it's supposed to be, and it looks like background noise.
The Virgin Mountain Backpacker, the Chad Sky Dweller. That's how Chadly he said it. But yeah, okay, getting back on.
I want to say the Crimson Chin, but I think that's a pretty shitty old reference.
There's always the artwork has gotten to the point. I don't want to come across as like the artwork has to be like fucking Berserk level or else I riot. But I will say early on it really was. It was just not good enough for me where I was going to be annoyed. Now it's perfectly acceptable to me where it's like it's not amazing, but it has the occasional very good drawing, and I appreciate the hustle, and it's gotten to a level of consistency where I can read it without being distracted by jank. The panty shots still look bad. There was a couple where he drew her groin so pronounced, sticking out, that it looked like she had a tiny little dick. He needs to stop doing that. Women's vaginas,
make it bigger.
I understand the when you understand that they might, curve out a bit, but they really don't bulge that far out, dude. You gotta chill. You gotta make it relax with that. God, how good is that moment when he falls in the hole and he's like, bury me? I mean, all the moments are good. I love all the characters now, and every time them interacting is a joy to behold. I just want to see. I don't want the manga to. This is the complete opposite of like Tokyo Ghoul Re. I'm like, fucking do something. Here I'm like, please, no one stop the story from advancing, because I just want to live in this world where I want to see everyone just go to each other's house and chill. I feel like I'm like him. I'm like Crow Guy when he shows up and he's like, the three of us would catch a drink, and then they sit there in silence for a second and they go, oh right, there's only two of us now.
damn.
It fucking sucks.
It's right. It reminds me of Diamond is Unbreakable a little bit, where as it goes along, you see so many little interactions between the characters that it really feels like a community.
Yeah.
In the sense that in this case they all like each other, for the most part. But it's not even they're all incredible friends where one-on-one they would be super good friends, but they're just so comfortable around each other that they just kind of always assume everyone is involved in things.
Yes.
They can just go up to each other, join in. It doesn't have to be weird.
That's why the mouse guy
There's
being
just a lot of
like
togetherness
beloved
here.
by everyone makes total sense, because you're like, yeah, okay.
Remember when Samidari, like, he came so close to drawing like a cute naked girl for a moment.
Yes.
Like,
But
I'm
then-
not saying it's
that
amazing,
was
but
one
it
of the better
it was
bodies,
a great
yeah.
improvement
Yes.
over what he did before.
Yes.
Her legs are not twice as long as her
No,
torso.
no, that's true. No,
Oh,
she looked
God.
fine. The boobs were in the right place for once.
How mad would Samidari be that the golem did that?
Not that mad. Yeah, honestly, she would be a bit
alright, never
embarrassed
mind.
if
If
Yuhi or whatever the fuck his name is saw it. It's all good. I like how the one funny thing I like. I mean, I've harped on subversion sometimes, but one subversion I do enjoy is that he forms this new golem that can turn into people, and no one is fooled. Like every single time he turns into someone, he turns into the older brother. They immediately kick the shit out of him. He turns into the dead guy. You think, oh, is he gonna flourish? She's like, you look nothing like him. He turns into the fucking guy's dad, and he clocks him even though he's a kid. It's like he just is not getting away with it. This is funny.
It was funny that he tried to help Owl Guy out of the awkward situation, and he was pissed. Like, don't show up as my dad, goddammit.
Yeah, that's some fucked
because
up
he
shit,
secretly
man.
misses his dad, and it felt
Does
weird.
he though? I think he's just secretly angry that his dad would even try to feign interest in him at all, even though he knows it's a fake.
Or he's insecure about.
Oh yeah,
the
he's
lack
definitely
of
fucking insecure. I mean, the
that?
guy goes to his house and he's like, "I like it in your house." No one ever talks, and it's like, Jesus, that's the darkest thing I've ever fucking heard.
They all wear morning clothes.
Yeah, I love that they all show up in their funeral.
And it's not even a. It's not even a. Apparently, it wasn't some peanut down my throat. It wasn't even an organized fucking thing.
Yeah.
They just all thought to do it, including the chick they didn't want to show up. She looks really cool with the haircut. I dig it.
Her standing on the ice and her form the ice thing.
It's fucking based as hell.
She goes off on her own to one-shot the golem just
like
because she's mad.
Little panels like this. I love this little one where like the guy uses his power and then we cut to a little thing of the girl noticing and the cat guy tells her to shush. That's like such a tiny little detail that not many people would think to include. That's also very like I don't know, that reminded me of you for some reason, Green, because like
What?
Well, when you write like in City of Flies and stuff, you like to include like little asides, like that someone like looked over somewhere or someone touched someone's hand, or just have like a little bit of like wanting to subtly like imply something is going on like that. And I was like, I don't see that in manga very often. Like it's when you're thinking, I don't know, I'm speaking just for myself here, but when you're thinking of the layout of a page and what actions you want and what the key scenes you want to be, you don't often stop to have just like, unless it's going to be very important in the immediate next section, like, oh, for them to understand the next page I need to put this in. But for something to be like long term like that and be like what is going on in these three squares is a lot of stuff, and it means a lot of stuff, and it's based on a lot of stuff too, like, and it's such an interesting little thing to include in your manga where it's like what he lacks in composition and drawing skills, he more than makes up for in like subtleties and writing and cleverness in writing. And he got some really good cool artwork too. I like this page a lot where she smashes all the golems. There's some good stuff. I like all the stuff with the knight versions of both the characters, and he's handing off the sword and she's accepting it. That's cool. Just great. I did like, I mean, of the stretches we read was like the mouse guy stuff and the owl guy stuff. I think I like the mouse guy stuff a bit more. I found it more emotionally compelling. With the owl guy, we're getting into more complicated stuff. We have this new character who's like a weird humanoid golem. A stupid comparison to make, but it kind of reminded me of stuff in like Jujutsu Kaisen. Because like in Jujutsu Kaisen, there's stuff that comes up with like the ghosts, the spirits being kind of people sometimes. There's like an artificial dude like stitches.
It also, I also wrote down. It reminds me of Fushi a little bit.
It kind of, yeah. There's always we always find weird
it's
connections
a weird
between.
Yeah.
Well, we always find that with the manga we do. There's always we have that with like Pun Pun and Soul Eater and stuff. Yeah. And it's funny we got a recap. I didn't need it, but it's appreciated. I mean, if I'd been reading this in real time, it would have been a long time.
Her faces while she's vengeancing, and then Horse Guy crying. There's just so much going on.
I know.
How smart is it to give them all an animal so you don't need to remember their fucking name?
Yeah. You should have
Tokyo
Ghoul wouldn't have enough fucking animals for all the characters. He'd be resorting to like amoebas and subspecies and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, the Vole Ghoul.
I mean, there are animal I mean, there's rabbits and there's demon apes and there's dogs, so we kind of got that.
Yeah, a few odd notes I have. I put. Sorry. No, okay. I'll go one. There were some weird moments of temptation in this. I put, "Do you desire power?"
Yes, when she said that to for the duel between Yuhi and the Snake Girl. I was like, Muramasa moment right away. She pulled a Kageyaki.
Yeah, and a crazy something only Mizukami would think of, but how the mouse and the mantis girl, where she's kind of a sociopath, but not completely, but mostly.
Well, her finally crying was
you get
yes,
yeah, it was like really good.
You get the dynamic that other people almost feel pain on her behalf sometimes, like he does. Yeah. That is a like weird fucking dynamic. It's very, very clever.
There are just genius tiny scenes in here where it's like I would never think to include something like that, but it feels so real. Where it's like when the chapter just opens with her flushing the mantis down the toilet, and she like goes back to her desk and sits down, and the guy's like, outbursts like that are not con for you. She's like looks away, and I was like, that's such an odd little scene, but it says so much, and it's so intriguing, and it's so interesting. It's like that. The ensemble thing, I think it does it better than Planet With, which I didn't think at the start because there weren't enough characters yet. But like, I think it has that over both Planet With and Spirit Circle. In Planet With, it just doesn't do it as much as it does here, like the closeness of the people, I don't think. And in Planet and in Spirit Circle, that's not really. There's like a tiny bit of that, but really it is like a deuteragonist story of a boy and a girl he falls in love with, and then the different characters are through time, so it's much more like To Eternity than it is like Biscuit Hammer. But yeah, that's definitely the strength. I mean, Green said it from the start that like the characters interacting with each other was like the appeal, but I was like, I didn't really get it until we had all these people. I didn't find the backstory chapter especially interesting, really. I did enjoy that part. I enjoyed this whole stretch here with the date. I like the fight a lot. I liked I love that I love this little segment here that the guy's dream was for a loaf of bread. That's incredible.
It's like, what do girls like? Loaves of bread.
Well, no, it's obviously because he's like a poor hungry kid, but it's funny too because he didn't wish for like to solve her hunger or to do anything for her specifically, or to give her like a lot of food. He just gave her like a very paltry amount of food, but it was like something that was important to her in that moment, and shows that he doesn't really care because he doesn't really have anything special that he wished for. It's just interesting seeing like characters that have different mentalities, because like you could easily see someone, if Owl Guy had been in his position, he would have been like, oh God, how could I have wasted... My brother is dead now, and I wasted that wish that could have brought him back on a loaf of bread. But he's like, fuck it, whatever. I don't give a shit. He didn't even think about it. Even if someone brought that up to him, Crow Guy would just be like, there's no point dwelling on that. Meanwhile, Owl Guy is having like a horrible PTSD, being like, oh God, I could have reversed time and say, but he doesn't even know what he wants, because it's like, that's so many of the characters here. It's like they have such mixed motivations because like moment to moment they have so much different things than when they're in their own heads. Cause it's like you're on the bad guy's side supposedly. Shouldn't you want them all to get killed? And anyway, even if you win, isn't your plan to have the thing? If the whole planet gets destroyed, everyone dies anyway. So what the fuck would it matter for you to reverse time on this one guy's wound, and then help the bad guy kill everyone anyway? But it's like on the other hand, you totally understand. You know, that's the whole that's cognitive dissonance. That's what humans are built like. It's like it's both these statements can be true. It's true that he hates the world and he wants to see it smashed and he wants everyone to die, and it's also true that he liked that guy and would have saved his life and didn't want him to die. Yeah. Very interesting.
Oh, few other small points. Oh yeah, how did you like the Crow guy's job is standing outside of rooms and looking tough
and getting a door slammed on his face?
Getting a door slammed on his face.
It was always implied that he was a fucking up to no good weird job where he just got free stuff.
And then they have the competition for the date with Samidari.
Yes, it's funny that I was gonna say about the job. Oh, there's the penis shot. Nice dick you got there.
What? Nani?
This should be about here, dude. That's where they stop.
Okay.
I was gonna say, it's funny that the guy calls him like, "Hey, do you want to work? It's like it's some money," and the guy says yes. And I was surprised, and so was the lizard guy. Is also like, "What?" Like he voiced my concern. I was like, "Wait, you're gonna say yes?" I thought you were gonna say "fuck off."
The lizard is speedwagoning. That was cute.
I
do like
great.
that the date. Yeah. I do like that the date was completely futile, and it was just a scheme for them to get food. And then Crow Guy, the girls are like, "You don't need a date, you've got us," and he's like, you."
Yes, I was going to mention that was one of my favorite moments.
Sitcom ending.
Well, the guy's like, "Oh, but the anima came along on my date, so it's fucking stupid." It's just chowing down plates and plates, and then you're like, "You have a flower in each hand," or something. Yeah. And then they keep going. Her I did remember her name until this very second. Subaru is like got this whole thing about like having a tiny cute little crush on Crow Guy now, and people keep telling her she's gonna make a nice bride and all this stuff, which I find cute. I always find that kind of thing. Again, it happened in To Your Eternity too, actually. So
it is cute. Oh, you know who she reminds me of a bit? Frickin' Tomo-chan.
Yeah. I mean, the only like thing is that the little subversion with her is that she looks like a tomboy, but is.
Yes.
But yeah, she looks like.
Yeah, that's. I do find that.
You
funny.
would be wise to join my gang.
Yeah, I like turtle girls. The droopy face too. She should date Owl Guy. Make him happier.
Yeah, it's perfect. And Owl Guy's coming around to the possibility, hey, maybe I'm a traitor, but not.
I like how
I mean, he's a kid ultimately. Yeah.
Basically got unlocked that he now can see, this works way better as a healing.
It's also clever character building because he's a pessimist, so it makes sense he wouldn't he only thought to use it for destructive purposes and not for healing purposes. Meanwhile, the Genki twin tail girl is like, "Why don't you try using it to heal sprained ankle?" And he's like, "Oh shit, don't work." Also, a great moment. I love that like Yuhi and the Crow Guy are like coming into their own and taking on their role of like being adults. And they're both shouting like, "It's our chance for us to be cool hero types." And they like run in, and he like, has like a moment where he tries to like act cool and like looks at them with like a poised look.
And they're like, the heroes have arrived. It's like, also, have they?
Oh, also I loved earlier. I like that moment when Snake Girl says, "I love you," just out of nowhere, and defeats him, and then asks him to stop his.
No, you're not the main character, sweetie. I'm sorry.
And then I mean, that's I mean, we're gonna. This is kind of like Pun Pun, but she's a much better girlfriend for him. Like. They would be there. I mean, first of all, they're closer in age. Not that I'm a big stickler for that, but they seem they're both more adult than Samidari is, and it's a classic thing of like he's infatuated with like the high school chick like Pun Pun was when there's a a much better girl in front of him. And I like that, she likes the cosplay, and they're both into anime, and it's nice.
Yeah, speaking of anime, how do you like the golem turn into the magical girl?
Yeah. I mean, it's a funny thing. I don't
closes 20 tabs.
I like that.
I don't love it, but I think it's cute.
I just like that the magical girl show just keeps coming up. That's
it's a good recurring thing.
What did you think about Cat Knight becoming more and more of an MVP, where he's just like making tanks?
He's been the MVP for
he's one of my favorite characters, and I love that he made this new golem with a seat. Is the funniest thing. He just made like this big fucking destructive tank, but he also made a chair on it because he's like, well, I want to be safe during the battle, so. It's
and I'm not gonna walk.
I'm not gonna walk. I'm fucking fat as fuck, bro. I want to get fatter.
My fat ass is not walking across the battlefield.
Yeah, it's all great. It reads really well too. Like his flow has gotten really good. Like I'm looking at this like section here. It's just like his paneling has gotten better. His readability is great. Like I really admire him.
He's really good at the speed at which he doles out information.
Yeah. I'm understanding
where you're constantly getting little tweaks on what you already know.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, Jaws must have seen something I didn't earlier, because Jaws in the first one mentioned how he thought his paneling was very like efficient or something like that, something German.
Yeah, what is like shown in each panel? And not angle. What's the
like the layout, basically the composition.
Paneling.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Maybe it's like angle. It's shown from.
Yeah.
Forget it. I don't remember the correct word. Like.
Well, angle is right.
Yeah.
Yeah. The perspective.
Yeah. Moving on.
But I like how Animus checks out her panties is funny too, because he did that with the action figure way back. But I was gonna say, yeah, his but maybe because just the individual drawings have gotten better and are more enjoyable to look at, I appreciate the flow.
I like the frag grenades getting used.
Yeah, just pulls out 5 in one go. Yeah, I like how Animus is like annoyed by it too. He's like, oh, that's how you're gonna go, huh? Fuck you.
Well, how would you feel if someone threw a bunch of grenades at you?
I don't know. Every other thing has been like kind of, it's not like they're playing by the rules exactly in so many ways. I do love that Animus took care of the corpse disposal. That's very interesting and very sinister too. Like he has control over like weird aspects.
Animus?
Yeah, the
Animus
mage
didn't take care of the.
Yes, he did.
But he didn't get rid of the.
He did because when Horse Guy talks to his police friend, the reason they had him like any suspicion go off of him about the contacts being in the dead guy's phone is because Animus sent an order from up above. Like,
right,
he has some tampering in the fucking. In the local things, and he's like, it's only fair that everyone should not be the rules should be like that would have been a disadvantage that they would have had that he didn't have, so he got rid of it. Also, he was reading a John Titor book. He's a time traveler.
Oh my god!
Not too clever.
A few of the characters
also there's a Fully Cooley reference.
Like Steingate characters,
and
actually.
There's a Fully Cooley.
Yeah. It's all coming together.
Owl Guy's going back home and beating the shit out of the core creature, not even using his power, was a very good scene. And then, and then Anima shows up in a bunny girl costume for some reason, and gives him. He's got the last of the big boys. I think it's only 3, right? Yeah.
I know there should be one more.
Oh, one more. Okay.
It's 4.
I don't know why the dragon is called invisible. I mean, if you call something invisible, but it's not invisible, I find that very annoying, actually. That annoys me every time I see it.
Okay, well, we'll call the author and ask him to change it. Because
funny little touch. Way earlier, the guy theorized about which creatures could turn into which things. It's interesting that in the duel for the dragon, there was a lizard and a snake, so both of them would make sense either of them winning. If it had been like praying mantis girl versus snake, that would have been like, what would have happened if the praying mantis had won? But he
I kind of feel like there's a limited. I feel like there's restrictions on this. Like I feel like
it's
maybe
part of the game.
lizard and the snake always have a duel to see who wins.
Yeah, remember we get interesting stuff about that, like how the previous owl turned on Animus at the very end, and got murdered, which is cool. I also like how they just last thing how they throw time paradoxes out the window here. I like that analogy of like, well, if a kappa moves up the river and blocks the stream, he doesn't cease to exist. I'm like, that's actually a really clever explanation for, you can never really make away with time paradoxes, but that's probably one of the more practical, interesting.
I agree with that. I always thought time paradoxes were dumb.
Well, it's interesting because
I always thought it's not like the other. It's not like there's an other universe that knows you're doing something now. It's like you're just rearranging things physically, and then
it implies like it implies that like time would self-correct itself to create a second timeline which is on top of the first one. So it's like the timeline in which Animus exists, and if you follow his trajectory, is still just a normal timeline from A to B. It's just that it supersedes the timelines he's messing up with. So it's like it keeps itself from being a paradox by just adding extra rules on itself. So I thought that was clever, actually. Well done.
Okay, we need to wrap up, but and we'll give Jaws a second. A few of my thoughts. This is not a big problem. There is a weird amount of characters running into each other at restaurants in this.
It's like your
It's
book.
not that crazy because there are a lot of them, and they do probably go to the same 2 or 3 restaurants over and over.
They love the ramen place, and also earlier I don't know, is it the same ramen place that Samidare and Cat Guy are banned from for eating the thing, or is that a different one?
I think probably. And my final note, I put pudding knife page is good. I assume that's because a golem appears and there's a pudding knife signaling the danger at one point.
No. That's the attack the magical girl does. She says pudding knife, and she does a big knife.
Okay,
and she slams
there we
the
go.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember why I wrote that. It's like, why would I write pudding
I don't
knife
know.
page is good?
That is a weird move. Oh, also good page. I like when the guy throws his money off the bridge, and then he says, like that. You could use that for other stuff. He's like, yeah, but it did make me feel better. I was like, that's really cool.
Well, we're at 2 hours and 13 minutes.
Yeah, I'm fine.
I feel like we should give Jaws a moment to throw out some thoughts and then wrap up.
Well, I didn't have much to say on this other than I really liked it, and I already said my favorite part is the mantis knight on the ice, just her catharsis of killing the golem. Like, all the stuff looks good and it just works.
It was really cool.
That's like really.
Oh.
I like the Arcana stuff with him using his power now for healing, and the little conclusion with him destroying the final one golem thingy. Yeah, I quite like the stretch.
I like
Biscuit
it
Hammer,
too.
still good.
It's sad we're so close to the end now. Could we be done next stretch?
All that.
Maybe.
I
we're
don't remember.
18 chapters away, right? It's only 65.
Yeah, it
66.
might. I don't remember. I think I was wondering if I could split it up, but we might just be done.
I think we can do it in one.
Yeah. Well. After so much.
Nice.
After all Michi's naysaying,
I had
here we are again.
one podcast.
Honestly, I think Michi was just in a very bad mood at that time.
No, hang on. No, hang
bad.
on. I was not just in a bad mood. I do think the first 16 chapters are so weak.
We can't trust him. He just goes hysterical.
I said 5 out of 10. I didn't say 1 out of 10. 5 is still a passing grade.
He can't deal with the stressors of daily life. It's too much for him.
I expect everything to be as good as the stretch of Pure Eternity, okay?
So, goodbye, everybody.
Bye. I mean, I'm the one who controls when the stream ends, so I don't know